And we had a mayor of a city here in Minnesota, Nadia Muhammad, I think her name is, saying that America is losing its Americanness. I think $20 billion of fraud is a good indicator that, yeah, America is certainly losing its Americanness. And I just want to say to everybody out there in the audience, please don't let the fraud become a third or fourth page. Please don't let the fraud become the buried lead. Let's ratchet back up the content about the fraud. Let's do more investigation. Let's put out more content about the fraud. Fraud. All of this other stuff is a distraction. It's just window dressing. Don't get me wrong. These anti-ICE protests are ridiculous, and they're intended to be ridiculous. I've been saying it the last few weekends, nobody with any sense or sanity. It's about 51% and a hair in this country at this point, so we are in a rapid decline. But nobody with any sense or sanity still left believes that immigration enforcement is racism. Nobody with any sense of sanity, black people, white people, Hispanics, Asians, even Somalis. I run into Somalis all the time here in Minnesota that vote Republican, that are conservative, and they come up and they say, you know, people who are illegal should be deported. Now, a lot of them can say that because a lot of them came over on refugee status and other things like that, but people from all across this country, all walks of life, agree that we should have a border and we should be able to enforce that border. We should be able to enforce our immigration laws, our immigration policy. People agree with that. It's just like the voter ID thing. The signal from the noise, over 75% of people in this country, blacks, whites, Hispanics, all agree on voter ID. It begs the question. I mean, I don't even want to talk about Democrats today because I just feel a bit fatigued by it over the last couple of weeks. It's just nonstop. And it was the same argument over and over and over. Now, what about Obama said on ICE? And I did it on the show one. It had to be done. It has to be done. Don't get me wrong. We have to confront the contradiction. There's no doubt about that. I'm not saying that we shouldn't confront the contradiction backed up with facts. And that will bear out and win in the end. We got to decide how far we're willing to go with that strategy. If we are, and I'll talk about that in a moment, then we should quadruple down. Quadruple down when the truth is on your side. If not, it is a concession to the heresy of democracy that all majorities are made righteous and equal. All majorities are not made righteous and equal. When you think that, you end up with a mob rule. And throughout most of human history, mob rule ends up being the loudest, most ignorant, and sometimes wicked person leading a bunch of other sheep followers right into hell. It's brilliant intuition for the way that our founding fathers framed the government to protect people from the spiritual rot of mob rule, not just the political or government rot of mob rule, the spiritual rot and decay of mob rule. So we should combat the contradiction, rebuke and refute. I'm all with it. Just personally, I you know, how many times are we going to say it? Why are we even having the argument still? Why are we even having it's like this Obama thing, you know, with the Obamas, and they were depicted as monkeys. Let's make it real simple for you mentally impaired folks out there. If the video had depicted black people as monkeys, only as monkeys throughout the entire video, all the black people who were shown in this animated video were depicted as monkeys, then you could start to have an argument about it being racist. But the fact that Hakeem Jeffries and the other black people who were shown in the video were not depicted as monkeys makes it categorically not racist. Categorically not racist. Oh, well, you shouldn't depict any black people as monkeys. Oh, so we should take the monkeys out of the video. We should represent what kind of anti-inclusive nonsense is that? We can't be excluding the monkeys. The monkeys are a part of the jungle scene. The monkeys were an important piece in the story arc of The Lion King. We can't be excluding the monkeys. It would be a whitewash of history to exclude the monkeys, right? No, the monkeys are going to stay. Yeah, and somebody's going to be the monkeys in the video. And are we going to snowflake and make the white folks monkeys? Are we going to make Schumer and Nancy Pelosi monkeys just to satisfy everybody's PC obsession, politically correct obsession? No, we're not. No, the Obamas, you know what? They are clowns. They're clowns. That's just what it is. I don't like the Obamas at all. I don't know why people still, black people, you've fawned over the Obamas like white Americans fawn over the royal family. The Obamas are like the black royal family. And I dislike both equally. I don't like the royal family there from Great Britain, and I don't like the Obamas here. One, I don't like them because of what their agenda is, and I don't like them for the results that came from their leadership on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. I don't like the notion that we're Atlantists anyway, so I don't give two, flying Fs about the royal family at all. I like Joe Mazzulla from the Boston Celtics. What do you think about the royal family being at the game tonight? He goes, you mean Jesus, Mary, and Joseph? There's only one royal family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I don't care about the British royal family at all. Don't acknowledge them at all. They have no authority in this country, and they don't deserve our admiration. The entire sort of soap opera, sycophancy about the royal family is disgusting. But you'll find some of these same posh, uppity, limousine liberal elites that have propped up the Obamas as a sort of, a black royal family. They do. They adore the British royal family. So, everything's racist and white supremacy, but, the royal family's an exception because they're so royal. Okay. All right. I don't care for them. The Obamas, there we have to have a discussion. I don't like them because of what they did and what they've continued to do to this country. I don't like how they represent black people. But I really don't like how gullible and fanatic black people are about the Obamas. I can't stand it. It's like all they have to do is get some well-dressed, articulate black person up there at the podium. And Barack Obama was very articulate. I'll give him that. And black people just fall in love. It's like, again, it is a symbol of our own ineptitude. It's a symbol of our own unwillingness to confront our inadequacy as a community, as black. And today we're going to talk about what do we even mean by the black community? Even this word community has gotten, twisted and warped, especially in this conversation about illegal immigrants. And I'm only going to talk about this for this block, but what do we even mean when we say the black community? Do we mean the entire country? Do we mean black people from the entire? We're not all the same. The black communities in Minnesota are very different than the black communities in Chicago. They're very different from the black communities in the DMV or the tri-state area. They're very different from the black communities down there in the Bible Belt or the black communities on the West Coast. They all have their own unique elements to them. And even within the black communities, there are certainly significant differences between black people. Don't clump me. I'm not in the community with, I am not in a, saying we're all a community in the context they're using the word community suggests we should all be involved in protecting everybody in our community, everybody that lives near us or has a similar identity to us, as though all of them are people worth protecting. No, we're not going to protect the bank robbers and the murderers, and the scammers and the fraudsters. And we're certainly not going to protect the illegal immigrants who are sexually assaulting little kids or women and dumping their bodies on the side of the road. I'm not in a community with you. We're not community. You're watching The Royce White Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back in a moment.
Riots and violent looting going on all over the country, I don't feel safe leaving the house without this banana. Normally, I would be worried about this creepy guy, but I've got my banana with me. That same car has been sitting outside my house for a while now. Better keep this banana by the door.
Sounds ridiculous, right? Now imagine this banana was capable of incapacitating an attacker from over 60 feet.
At Byrna, we don't sell bananas. Go to Byrna.com to learn more.
There are few things more aggravating than seeing your tax dollars wasted by the government. All too often, when big government tries to save the day, the funds sent around the world to help people in need are diverted by corrupt leaders to line their own pockets, enrich their cronies, or further an agenda that has nothing to do with helping their countrymen. You can do a better job at promoting freedom than any government can. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV today to join the worldwide freedom movement. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an Atlas Network exclusive hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. We identify, train up, and celebrate local leaders as they work to make freedom a reality across the world. Our partners often risk everything, their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives to fight for freedom in places where authoritarianism reigns. Visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV or scan the QR code to join our mission to help pro-freedom organizations around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive Atlas Network hat.
America's in a fight for her soul. Our freedoms are under attack. Our values are being torn down. And the same corrupt elites who built this mess think they can silence us. The patriots who still believe in this country. Not a chance. Here at Real America's Voice, we're standing shoulder to shoulder with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, the movement that says we will not be silenced.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
And the voice of millions of patriots who refuse to kneel to tyranny. This is the movement of fighters, men and women who still believe in God, family, and the American dream. The conservative alternative to AARP.
Real rights, they come from God.
If you're ready to stand up and join the fight, go to amac.us/RAV right now. That's amac.us/RAV, because this isn't just about politics. It's about saving America. Faith, freedom, America first. AMAC and Real America's Voice, united for the Republic.
Attention homeowners. Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Is the bank threatening to take your home? Is your home worth less than you owe? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then you need to call this number right now.
Call 800-714-8615.
Kevin paid off over $12,000 in credit card debt with the help of Consolidated Credit. They cut his interest rates and lowered his payments so he could pay off his debt fast. Call 800-596-8062 for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the Royce White Show. I'm your host, Royce White. I'm here in the belly of the beast, Minneapolis, Minnesota. You're watching Real America's Voice, headquarters of the Ultra MAGA and America First movement. This entire Obama outrage, I mean, honest to God, and again, all of the gossip outlets, all of the gossip social media accounts, the shade rooms and the TMZs, they jump on it right away. Come to find out, obviously it's a staffer or somebody who posted the video, and it was the end of another video that was screen recorded, and it's obvious. You know, the first part of the video is about the election, the buried lead in the whole story. Once again, anything to not talk about the insecurity of our elections, anything for us not to have to confront that our elections are not secure, because we love that part of the illusion. We desperately need to think that our elections are safe and secure in this country, even on the right. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But it was obviously a piece of a video that was left from a screen recording that was the next video in the scroll. And people fell for it right away. And they're just so gullible. Some of them are gullible, but some of them really know exactly what they're doing, and they don't care. They don't care to lie. And we have a difficult decision to make in this country And I say this, Mr. President, if you can hear me, I say this to you with all due respect. The difficult choice ahead of you and the rest of us in this country who love this country, who want to save this country, is whether or not we play the game of threading the needle with public consensus, or we triple and quadruple down on the constitutional crisis we know is in front of us, and we go max. That is the decision before us. Now, if we don't have the stomach for that decision and the ensuing conflict that is probably inevitable, in that, then hey, we had a good ride. We had fun. This has been good. I've been alive 34 years. America's been relatively good to me. A lot of problems. Never want to conflate our appreciation and gratitude for the acknowledgement that there are problems and things that I think we could fix. Easy fixes, by the way. Not difficult. Difficult because of all the special interest and lobby money that makes it difficult intentionally because they like the way the scam is working. But things that could be fixed. Things that could be fixed. Hard to fix things when the people don't demand a higher standard of government and value for their citizenship. And when you get roped into some race bait video about the Obamas being depicted as monkeys in an animation, I just know you're not serious about your citizenship, because there are so many other things that you should be concerned about. But once again, the default is always racism. Always. Gullible. And I just say this to and I'm going to be honest, black people are the most gullible. But you have to have a little sympathy for black people because they've intentionally been undereducated by white liberal women. So it's almost a sort of a sick dog and pony show, to say the least. But at a level, you still have to take individual responsibility for being that gullible. And I know of black people, yes, you are gullible, and yes, you've been undereducated and brainwashed. There's no doubt about that. But a piece of you does intuit the truth, and you ignore that truth because you get something out of the deal. What you get out of the deal is a safe and convenient scapegoat. Everything's racism. There's no problems in the black community. There's no problems in the black community that are perpetuated by black people. Oh, no. Everything is racism. All white people are racist except the white Democrats you vote for. Okay, fine. I'm going to keep rebuking and refuting you Negroes until the day I die. People who think like that, you don't deserve your freedom. You don't even need to talk about racism because you don't deserve freedom. You don't deserve your freedom. As our founding fathers would say, if you're willing to trade your freedom for security, you will have neither, and you deserve neither. That's why we play the Malcolm X in the intro. We will not give up a single right guaranteed to us under the American Constitution. We will not give up a single right guaranteed to us under the Constitution. As critical as he and the Nation of Islam and the other black civil rights leaders were, they were doing it from a framework that they wanted what was outlined in the United States of America's founding documents, beliefs, values, philosophy. They wanted a piece of it. Now, you had some separatists who said, you know what, we just need to separate and stay separate. We need segregation. You had some of those people. And in some ways, the Nation of Islam did represent that way of thinking. And Malcolm X teetered that line where he went from saying, hey, we need to stay separate and do our own thing to, in fact, the price of freedom is death. This guy, Thomas Jefferson, was profound. We need a little more of that. Well, guess what? My question to all you black people out there in this country is, if America's so racist, if America's such a terrible place to be, and you don't want to do anything to change it, like get involved in the political process and demand a higher standard of government and a higher value for your citizenship, where do you plan on going exactly? And in that, you can sort of look at the results and infer the motive. Some people have a genuine critique of America, of the system, of the policies, of the scams that our government has certainly run on the American people and working class, the elites. But then you'll tune into Super Bowl Sunday to Super Bowl on Sunday, without a bat and eyelash, as if the Super Bowl isn't a representation of white supremacy, of a global elite of greedy corporations that know they can milk you dry and overprice you and then lobby for the politicians to overtax you. So the money just goes in one big circle and it stays in your hands the least amount of time out of the entire ecosystem. You're a cuck. You're a cuck. In a citizen form, in a consideration of civic engagement, you are a cuck. You're a cuck citizen. You let your government lie to you. You let your government steal from you, tell you that they're stealing from you for your own good, and then they charge you interest. Honestly, and I'm going to say that that's enough with these Democrats and the Obamas. You all are stupid, and we know you're stupid. And we're going to just start calling you stupid. Because what else are we supposed to? I mean, how long am I going to sit there and argue with somebody who says the sky isn't blue? The sky is blue. If you don't think it's blue, I'm not going to argue with you for too long, and I'm certainly not going to let you govern over me. We're going to go to some real radical self-governance in this country if people who won't admit the sky is blue get in power again. We're going to go to some real radical times. And maybe there's an echelon of the current MAGA movement that doesn't have the stomach for that sort of thing. You all need to just move to the side. Move to the side, let me lead. I'll help you. We're going to real radical times around here if we have to let people govern us who won't admit that the sky is blue. We don't have time for that, namely because our national mortal enemy, they don't have these kind of problems. China, the CCP, our national mortal enemy, they don't have these kinds of problems. 5,000 years of civil war have whittled their population down to people who understand the quid pro quo between government and the people. The quid pro quo is as long as President Xi is doing what the Chinese people can measure is in their benefit in terms of wealth, in terms of a baseline quality and standard of life, as long as President Xi is doing things that seems, at least appears to be, in the net interest of the Chinese people, they will play along with the tyranny. They will play along with the authoritarianism. They will play along with the unlimited surveillance and the rounding up of the Uyghurs or whatever else. Here in America, we're crying foul that President Trump wants the elections to be secure. We don't even demand that the game be square to anchor the reality of our citizenship. Because without it, we don't have citizens. We're not citizens. We're citizens of nowhere. We are citizens of a nation formerly known as the United States of America until our elections are secure. And that brings me to my next point. Tim Scott, you coward cuck. I told you all that Tim Scott was a cuck, coward, rhino. I told you. I hate to say I told you. I hate to say it under these types of circumstances, especially about Republicans when we're at such a pivotal moment and we need every one of these cowards to have a spine. I hate to have to go to this place, but we have to go to this place. Tim Scott, you've always been a squishy, double-speaking puppet. Let's call it what it is. DEI hire for the Republicans. No depth, no substance. Running dogs, the NRSC, the entire NRSC, the entire National Republican Senatorial Committee are Mitch McConnell's band of running dogs. Steve Daines, Tim Scott, go down the list. All of them. All of them. And I say it's personal. It is personal. It's personal because I live here in Minnesota. And what does the running dog NRSC do? They recruit Michelle Tafoya. And on the day she launches her campaign, the NRSC is on social media, along with Tim Scott, saying Michelle Tafoya has a real chance to win in Minnesota. Not if we don't pass the SAVE Act. Not if we don't have real elections in Minnesota. Not if people like Tim Scott allow the propaganda of President Trump making a racist comment or posting a racist video about the Obamas, not if we allow that propaganda to be widely disseminated and used to describe the Republican Party as a whole. I mean, how much of a self-defeatist cuck mentality can you have, Tim Scott? You, sir, are a coward. And if I make it to the United States Senate, I can promise you this. All of you will be weeded out. Every last one of you rhino cuck senators is getting weeded out. So you better spend $50 million to make sure that Michelle Tafoya wins this primary. You're watching The Royce White Show here on Real America's Voice. We'll be right back in a moment.
Yikes. Leaky refrigerator coil card.
Oh, no.
But your future is bright with an American Home Shield warranty to protect your covered home system. Don't worry, be warranty.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like men over 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone, and some didn't. This guy got the message loud and clear.
That's right, Nugenix Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC comes Nugenix Total T2, a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle by texting SURGE to 321-321.
Thanks. It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
New T2 is not available in stores or on Amazon. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text SURGE to 321-321. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X absolutely free.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul. For 50 years, I've watched Washington betray the American people with dishonest money. Nixon's closure of the gold window made endless debt and war inevitable. Today, our middle class, our currency, and our economy are dying in real time. In my new book, Dispatches to Future Generations, I reveal how we got here, plus the solution, gold. And that's why I'm partnering with Birch Gold Group to give you a free copy of my book along with their free info kit on gold. Click below to get both right now. Inside the info kit, you'll learn how to move your IRA or 401k into physical gold. So click below to claim your free copy of my Dispatches to Future Generations and Birch Gold's info kit today.
Did you know that thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing? If you've written a book, Page Publishing can help you through the process. We cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you.
Call or scan for your free writer's guide today.
Welcome back to the Royce White Show. You're watching Real America's Voice. Ultra MAGA and America First movement, headquarters of the Ultra MAGA and America First movement. Again, I've been telling you guys for 2 weeks now, ever since Michelle Tafoya got in this race, I've been saying, screaming from the mountaintop, all you have to do is follow the money. All you have to do is look at the people who support a politician, and it tells you at least half of the story, if not more. Probably like 3/4, 4/5. Tells you about 90% of the story, to be honest. All you have to do is look at who's supporting a politician, and it tells you most of what you need to know. The NRSC recruited Michelle Tafoya. If you people want to continue, and I'm talking to Minnesota Republicans mainly, if you people want to continue to be governed, led, represented by special interests and lobbies like the NRSC and soft-bellied Republicans like Tim Scott, be my guest. It doesn't offend me personally. It doesn't offend me personally. It's only an indictment of you. And it is. It's a grave indictment, actually. And they'll say, oh, well, Royce, you led these protests after George Floyd died. Yeah, that's what leaders do. When the city catches on fire and everybody is scrambling around in the chaos and confusion caused by the mainstream media, real leaders go to the front line. They go to the belly of the beast. They go right into the heart of the crowd and say, this is the truth. Which I did, and I did quite successfully, by the way, which is why the mainstream media deep-sixed what I was actually doing. They don't want people in the inner cities, in these metropolitan areas, to understand what fractional reserve banking is. They don't want them to understand how the Fed works, how monetary and economic policy really works, and how it affects them on a day-to-day basis, because that would make it real. That would reveal the whole scam. No, they want to continue to make it about the police and race. And it really is that. It is quite simple. It is that simple. It really is that simple. All of the WWE politics about race and the police and xenophobia and white supremacy, oh, culture. Oh, women are oppressed by the male-dominated patriarchy. Oh, it's all a scam. It's all a scam. It means absolutely nothing, next to nothing, marginal, very marginal in the grand scheme of things. The grand scheme of things is that we're $38 trillion in debt, and it doesn't seem like we plan to stop. The grand scheme of things is that in this country, your elites steal your money. They steal money from your children and your grandchildren. They steal money from your future generations, and then they tell you and them, we're going to make you pay it back with interest. Imagine, this is how cucked American citizens really are. Imagine somebody comes into your house at night, takes all the cash out of your wallet or purse, comes back the next day, knocks on your door and says, hey, I stole all your cash last night. You have to pay that back to me with interest. That's your American government. That's your military-industrial complex. That's your central bank known as the Federal Reserve. Stealing money from you and making you pay it back with interest by putting downward pressure through special interests and lobbyists that all end up funneling back to the same end result, the same goal. To make you accept, to make you amenable and accept that level of fraud. That's some epic fraud. $2 trillion goes missing from the Department of Defense, now the Department of War. $2 trillion goes missing in the audit. That's some epic fraud. $9 trillion of completely financialized debt from the Federal Reserve sitting on the balance sheet. That's some epic fraud. $2 trillion, $9 trillion. I think people get slightly desensitized to the sheer size of these numbers. To give you a visual aid, $1 million in $100 bills stacked up on top of one another is as tall as your average table chair. $1 million, $100 bills stacked up is as tall as your average table chair. $1 billion stacked up in $100 bills would be as tall as the tallest building on earth. $1 trillion in $100 bills stacked on top of one another would reach the United States Space Station. We're $38 trillion in debt. $2 trillion goes missing from the Department of War. $9 trillion of completely collateralized debt means debt from phony money that they're going to charge you interest on. They're charging the American people interest on, sitting on our balance sheet. These scams are biblical in proportion. But hey, I'm a blue-blooded Republican. I'm a blue-blooded patriot. As long as they fly those F-16s over the Super Bowl, then America's still in good standing. I don't mean to be, insulting, but come on, guys. Come on. How many more Super Bowls are we going to sit by and watch them fly those F-16s over the stadium? It's a smack in your face as a working-class citizen. To fly a symbol of the very institution, the very government that's stealing your money hand over fist over your head, and they expect you to applaud. Not only do they steal from you, and tell you to pay it back with interest, they expect you to applaud while they do it. Everybody talks about these humiliation rituals they put these young rappers through, dressing them up like women, like Bad Bunny here on the halftime show. Yeah, that's a humiliation ritual, no doubt about it. And it's a way to slowly brainwash and condition people to be okay with something that's completely upside down and inverse. Sure, but they're also running a humiliation ritual on you at the exact same time. In fact, they're going to start the humiliation ritual on you. They're going to wait for his until halftime. They start the game with yours. The humiliation ritual that they're running on the middle white American, blue-blooded American patriot, the blue-blooded Americans that believe in this country and believe in our flag and will stand for the anthem, the humiliation they're running on you is we're going to fly the F-16s over your head as a sign of American military prowess and dominance, even though we're stealing your money to do it. Now, debate that, Tim Scott, you neocon rhino cuck. Debate me on that. You tell me where our $2 trillion went. Where the American people, stop telling me, oh, it's American dominance. Oh, every time we get into a conflict in the Middle East and we're right on the brink of another one, every single time there's a conflict in the Middle East, I see these stupid videos pop up of the F-16s and the Raptors and a B-2 bomber flying over, and there's some ridiculous comment that says, they're about to find out why the Americans don't have free health care. Oh, you're about to find out why we don't have free health care. We're coming to, do what America does. Okay. Sure. I mean, so gullible. It's the same on both sides of the aisle. And maybe this makes me unelectable because I won't pander to either side of this deal. I just see a bunch of cucks. I'm just surrounded by cuck citizens. Cuck citizens to the right of me, cuck citizens to the left, stuck in the middle with you. Hopefully you all in the audience can feel me on this. Don't fly F-16s over my head that you paid for with money you stole from us. That's not a tradition we should honor. I don't care what it's intended to be, what it's intended to mean, what it really means. Let's talk about what it really is. Let's talk about what it really means. It means people like Tim Scott get to sit around and smile, pretending like they're Republican, and as soon as there's a little racial controversy, this is the most racist thing I've ever seen from this White House. This is the most racist thing yet I've seen from this White House. Oh, cry me a river. Cry me a river, dude. You're so weak. You're weak and subversive. And what makes it worse is I think they're diabolical. I don't believe that I think they're diabolical. I think he's doing it on purpose. How does a sitting U.S. senator post something like that in this moment in American history with as serious and as high of stakes that we're playing with? How does a sitting United States senator, one who's the chair of the entire National Republican Senatorial Committee, post that President Trump should remove the video and that it's the most racist thing he's seen without actually checking the facts? How does that happen? You all in the audience, that's how it happens. People who vote for Michelle Tafoya because she can win. She makes me feel comfortable about my contradictions. She had a fantastic career as a sideline reporter saying absolutely nothing. It's a slap in your face yet again. They're slapping you three ways to Sunday. They're picking somebody who's pro-choice. There's a slap in the face to the Christians. They're picking somebody who's explicitly connected to the same D.C. swamp that got us here in the first place. And last but not least, and this is probably worst of all, they're picking somebody whose entire career was built off of saying absolutely nothing controversial, as if we need more of those people in Washington. How much are you going to take? How much of this are you willing to take? When you're fed up, I'm here for you. When you're fed up, I'm willing to represent you. I'll go kick as many doors down in Washington, D.C. as I need to. Hell, let them arrest me. Let them censure me. Let them throw me off of the United States Senate. Then I'll run for president. And I'm damn near thinking about doing that now, to be quite honest with you. I just can't stand it. It's so corny. Our entire American political culture is corny. It's just, nobody wants to talk about the real issues. Nobody wants to talk about, and then when President Trump tries to, he receives so much pushback from both sides of the aisle. Look at the Senate and how many excuses they keep coming up with not to pass the SAVE Act, not to pass the DOGE cuts, not to pass the things that we know to be true. We've had 3 branches of government now for a year and some change, and what's been done? We got big decisions ahead of us right now, America. Big decisions. You're watching The Royce White Show. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
Freedom to speak your mind. Freedom to protest policies you don't like. Freedom to start a business. Freedom to own property. Freedom to vote. Freedom to flourish. It's easy to take these things for granted, but for many people around the world, freedom is merely a dream, and those who fight for it risk losing everything. Their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/rev today to help freedom become a reality for people fighting back against authoritarianism. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an exclusive Atlas Network hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. Atlas Network was founded to help pro-freedom organizations around the world develop, implement, and defend policies that foster freedom against tyranny. Visit atlasnetwork.org/rev or scan the QR code now to help us make freedom a reality for millions of people around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive hat.
Messes happen every day in every way, but who wants to drag out a bulky vacuum? Introducing Horsepower Duck, a super compact vac with ultra-powerful suction. Watch as it effortlessly crushes this large bottle. This is a small but mighty duck, making it quick and easy to clean any mess. Just duck it up. The compact design can reach the tightest places. It's smaller than a water bottle, so store it in any drawer where it's always at your fingertips. Plus, it dumps out with ease, so it's ready to clean again.
I used to have to drag out this huge thing they call a portable vacuum cleaner. Now I keep the duck in my kitchen drawer and I clean up messes in 2 seconds.
The turbocharged motor is engineered to create a powerful vortex of suction, while the HEPA filter helps remove dust and allergens. We attach the duck to this tube, and the powerful suction lifts the water all the way to the top. Clean up that mess in the kitchen, the spill on the sofa, even sawdust and screws in the workshop. Plus, it's rechargeable. Got messy pets? Duck powerfully picks up pet hair from anywhere and cleans around that dish in a flash. You can even store it in your glove box for the ultimate car vac. Clean seats, the floor, and deep into those hard-to-reach places. Other bulky hand vacs sell for up to $150, but get the Horsepower Duck hand vac for just $39.99. Order right now and we'll upgrade you to the Duck Pro package, a $30 value, yours free. You get the bendable tube to get into tough spots like under appliances, the crevice nozzle to reach into those cracks and crevices, and the soft brush nozzle to vacuum gently with no scratches. You'll get the Duck with all the deluxe attachments, but supplies are limited, so there's a strict limit of 3 per order. This may be your last chance to get yours at this low, low price. So don't delay. Duck it up today.
To order, call 1-800-692-0144 or visit duckback.com. So call 1-800-692-0144 or visit duckback.com. Order now.
Welcome back to the Royce White Show. I'm your host, Royce White, here in the belly of the beast, Minneapolis, Minnesota. You're watching Real America's Voice, headquarters of the Ultra MAGA and America First movement. And the Barack Obama, Michelle Obama controversy. Oh, it's racist. Oh, they depicted them as monkeys. Oh, my goodness, the world needs to stop. Let's stop talking about the real issues. Let's stop talking about how you let your government steal from you and you will go and vote for the same people who oversaw the fraud and the theft. That's the real signal from the noise. You're just using the race Obamas depicted as monkeys as a scapegoat, so you don't have to confront the reality that you're being stolen from. You're being domineered by your political elites. Let me make this very clear. Barack Obama doesn't care about you black people. He doesn't care who are the victims of terrible Democrat policies? Who are the victims of letting unlimited amounts of illegal immigrants, including the criminals, not that they're all criminals, but the ones who are, into your communities? Who is the victim of a radically underachieving education system in this country that prioritizes the LGBTQ over basic reading, writing, and arithmetic? Who is the victim of crime being high in black communities and driving small and local businesses out? They want to say they're giving you opportunity, that they're trying to manage inequality. Really, they're creating the inequity. It's just like the Fed. The Fed's, oh, we're managing inflation. No, you're creating inflation. We're not stupid. We've seen the depreciation of our dollar over 100 years that the Fed has been in existence. Stop telling us to look at the science. Don't tell us look at the science and the results and then ask us to turn a blind eye to the perpetual depreciation of the American dollar since the Fed has been running things. We're not stupid. And we're not going to play some WWE politics. And again, I just tell you all out there in the audience, and I want to say this as genuine as I can. If you continue to support people like, I don't care who gets endorsed. Lindsey Graham, out. Steve Daines, out. John Thune, out. Tim Scott, out. Lisa Murkowski, out. John Cornyn, out. All of the, just get, what is the fear? I mean, we are so afraid to fracture the coalition. Oh, the coalition, we need the coalition to stay intact at all costs. It's like this Ronald Reagan, rule. It's like the 11th commandment of Ronald Reagan, and people are still following it like it makes any sense whatsoever. It doesn't. Ronald Reagan was a very charismatic and smart president. And I do think he was a good man. I really do. Ronald Reagan, good president. But let's try and keep it in perspective, people. Even us on the right, again, we get caught up in this political folklore. I can't tell you how many people, I'm a, Reaganite. Shut your mouth with all this Reaganite nonsense. The security state was erected under Reagan. The security state, the deep state that exists right now, sunk its teeth into this country under Ronald Reagan. Now, many could make the argument that they bullied him. Okay, the Bushes plan to take this party back in 2028, and it's going to start right here in 2026. And who do you think it's starting with? People like Tim Scott. People like Michelle Tafoya. I'll do it. I'll do it. Clapping like seals. They're like seals at the aquarium at SeaWorld. You take a pail full of fish and you go to feed, and you see these seals come up, and they're all sitting there clapping, and you throw them a fish, and they catch that thing in midair because they're desperate for approval. They're desperate to eat, but they're desperate for approval. In a political context, they're desperate for approval. They're desperate for validation. They're desperate for political success and expediency. That is the crisis of this country. But the real crisis, even deeper than that, is how many people will accept it. You know you're being robbed. You know you're being lied to, but yet you still accept it. When is enough going to be enough? When is enough going to be enough? That's the question you all have to ask yourself. Look yourself in the mirror right before you go watch the F-16s that they took your money to pay for. They stole your money to pay for. Fly those F-16s. I don't even know if they fly the F-16s, but probably the Raptors. They fly them right over the stadium at the start of the Super Bowl as a symbol of the military-industrial complexes and special interests and lobbies money's dominance over American culture. Just as a little FU. Couple of F-16s as an FU to the American working class. You love the false sense of security so much, you'll let us steal from you and you'll applaud while we do it. I don't know what else to tell you guys. yes, the 80-20, if we agree on the 80%, that's a good start. We need to redefine this entire political trope. And it's what it is at this point. It's become a trope. It's a trope against us. That we can steamroll the nationalist populist candidates on the right side of the aisle by giving them some 80-20 Reagan-style rhino. And there are some rhinos who have their allegiance still to Reagan, like, Mark Levin, for example, who was Attorney General Edwin Meese under Ronald Reagan. He was Edwin Meese's chief of staff. Great example, by the way, actually. But the entire Bush junta, and again, it's not an indictment of Ronald Reagan, because I guarantee you this, we are going to be in a fight in the future for an echelon of Republicans that come out of the golden age of Trump as well. And that's not going to be a full indictment of President Trump either. There are going to be some people who are sitting there in the weeds, right, who are laying back in the weeds, waiting for their time to pounce on power, who never really believed in the things that President Trump believes or the things that President Trump has brought forward for this nation. Never really believed in them, but they're opportunistic, they're cunning, they're strategic, they're waiting right there in the shadows. They're waiting for their moment to assume power, and then you're going to see a radical shift, just like Bush and those guys did to Reagan. And then they left these relics like the 80-20 rule. Excuse me, if in the 20% you believe in unlimited abortion, then I guess we don't have an 80-20 agreement anymore. I guess we can't find an 80-20 alignment. If your 20% is we have to give unlimited support to our allies a world away to defend their borders more than we defend our own, we don't have an 80-20 alliance anymore. We're not aligned on an 80% that can keep us as a coalition. And a lot of you are afraid of that. So everybody, the political strategy, let the consultants and the experts tell you. No, what you're doing is you're leaving out people who may in fact be more open to the Republican Party if we were a little more honest on some of these 20% issues that we concede to the center right of the right side of the aisle. We conceded to the center right. Maybe some of these people would be more open to voting for us. Maybe some of these people who don't vote would be motivated to vote. I can't tell you how many emails and messages that we received on social media in my last run, 2024, against neocon extraordinaire and NRSC darling Amy Klobuchar, because she is, same special interest in lobby money. I can't tell you how many people said, I voted for the first time. You were the first person I've ever voted for. You know how that happens? Novelty. Genuineness and novelty. A person like myself who really says what they think, and they can back it up with the historical facts. That's what we need to save this country, and it's non-negotiable. Whether we do it or not is a decision we get to make, but it's non-negotiable. That's what we need to save this country. If we keep electing Tim Scotts, you're going to get exactly what you got on social media yesterday from him. It's the most racist thing I've seen from this White House. Just let the cat out of the bag. Oh, he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait his opportunity to jump ship. And he did. I mean, a statement like that, the president should remove. I thought he should have left it. I don't care who posted it, a staffer. You should have left it. Leave it up there. No retreat, no surrender. The Obamas got depicted like monkeys. Everybody was depicted like a different animal. Hakeem Jeffries was a koala bear or whatever. He was a cuck koala, whatever was, it doesn't matter. AOC was depicted as a donkey because she is. And there's nothing racist about that. There's nothing racist about that, guys. Come on, stop it. Stop it. Leave it up there. Oh, but I could just see the people rushing in there to tell the president, we got to get this down. We have to make a statement. This looks so terrible. All the black people are going to be upset. Black people got to face the music. Stop voting for Democrats, and your country and your communities will improve. Stop being weak on crime, and your country and your communities will improve. Ain't no video from President Trump the bane of your existence. You're the bane of your existence. That's the beauty of republicanism. It places a premium on the individual, and as an extension, the community of individuals who are strong and righteous and have sacred honor have a standard. And Tim Scott, sorry to say it, doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican, you're not making the cut in my neighborhood. Weenie, cuck, rhino. And that's who he's always been. But you all picked him there in South Carolina. I don't know what to say to you all, honestly. It's been another episode of the Royce White Show. Here in the belly of the beast, Minneapolis, Minnesota, holding the line. I think I'm going to go bullhorn today. I'm going to go find me some white liberals out there in the Twin Cities, and I'm going to go bullhorn for MAGA. As you all should do as well. Godspeed, God bless America. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Hang your nose when they fly those F-16s, because they bought them with your money. See you next time.
When surprise breakdowns happen, American Home Shield will be there to fix or replace parts of the systems and appliances you rely on every day. They help protect your time and money by connecting you with qualified pros and helping pay for covered repairs or replacements. AHS offers flexible and affordable plans for every home. Sign up today and get $200 off select plans with code AHS200. Visit AHS.com or call 833-PLAN-AHS.
You push it. You try to slide it. You even try to hold them shut. But your doors just won't stay closed no matter what. Introducing Ruby Monkey Magnets. Brand new ultra-thin magnetic plates that will keep your doors and drawers shut. And now may be your last chance to get them at a low price. Just peel to reveal the super strong adhesive. Place the monkey, then the magnet, and close. Installation is that simple, and now you have a door that will stay shut. So forget drawers that won't stay closed. Every drawer stays closed. It's so fast and so easy. Even large sliding doors or cordless window blinds. Everything stays closed with Monkey Magnets. The secret is the ultra-strong industrial magnet that's powerful attraction keeps your doors and drawers securely shut. These magnets are so strong they can hold this hammer that's nearly 5 pounds. Plus they're super thin. They'll fit just about anywhere, and they stay out of sight. Even screw them in for a more permanent solution. Monkey Magnets are perfect for cabinets, dresser drawers, sliding closet doors, accordion doors, and more. They're made of ultra-durable metal, so even your outdoor problems are solved in an instant because they're corrosion and rust resistant. Use them anywhere outside the house, even on that stubborn mailbox that won't stay shut. Monkey Magnets can stick anywhere, from drywall to all types of wood frames, metal surfaces, and more. Call or go online now to get 8 sets of Monkey Magnets for only $9.99. Monkey Magnets are guaranteed to last 10 years or your money back. But wait, due to rising costs and supply chain shortages, this may be your last chance to get Monkey Magnets at this low price. There is a strict limit of 1 full house pack per order while supplies last. So order now to keep all your doors and drawers shut tight with Monkey Magnets.
Call 1-800-519-4810. That's 1-800-519-4810. Call or visit getmonkeymagnets.com. So call 1-800-519-4810. Order now.
But today, there are questions about whether or not the Trump administration may be preparing action that goes well beyond the Constitution, is illegal and unconstitutional. As a preface, it should be understood that Steve Bannon, of course, has a reputation for, I don't know, being a bit of a blowhard. And he currently has no role, no official job in the federal government. But when representatives of the Trump administration were asked to respond to what Steve Bannon said this week, that ICE agents, even military troops, would be stationed to monitor polling places in November, the response wasn't exactly reassuring.
I think when they say they're going to do something, we should listen. It's been proven that it's not hyperbole. And, going all the way back to the debate when Trump said, stand back and stand by, we saw it on January 6th. His army of loyal supporters stormed the Capitol, injured our Capitol Police and other police officers, tried to stop essentially the wheels of our government from functioning. And, we've seen it happen, and all of these indicators are there, but even more concerning. So if the hair's not standing up on the back of your neck today as they're seizing ballots, as they're flooding our cities with National Guard, as ICE is terrorizing our communities, it's clearly a time that we have to act, and we have to believe that they're going to do what they're telling us they're going to do.
Now it's confirmed that top election officials across multiple states have received a letter from a so-called FBI election executive inviting them to meet with members of federal agencies for an unusual briefing later this month to discuss, quote, preparations for the upcoming midterm elections. The same elections Trump has already tried to undermine and called to nationalize, in violation of the U.S. Constitution. But of course,
I think the president is trying to steal the 2026 election. But it's not going to be like changing ballots, right? How we think about it in the movies. Like, this is not a scandal episode, folks. But just look at what he has done just within the first year of his administration. One of the first executive orders he issued was, in fact, about elections. It is important to note that constitutionally, the federal government has no power in elections. Elections are run by the states.
He wants to change that.
He would like to change that, but the founders did it intentionally. This was not an accident how the government was in fact set up by the people for the people. That's why the people in the states are the ones that are administering the election. But he wants to take over election administration. He is requesting the states, Democratic states and Republican states. There's actually only 4 states in this country that have yet to get a request or turn over their voter rolls to this White House. That should be scary for everyone. And not to mention him picking up the phone, calling Texas, saying, I need you to find me 5 more seats. So there are many ways in which they're looking to affect this election, not just one, ICE at the polls. So I think that Democrats, particularly the Democratic governors and Democratic secretaries of state, have to be vigilant. And last thing I'll say is Gretchen Whitmer, who is the vice chair of the Democratic Governors Association, she has now been speaking a lot more publicly about this real concern. I have talked to the governors privately, and you would think we had tinfoil hats on in this conversation. I said, well, are you all sure that your elections are going to be secure? They said, we are sure that we are going to have elections. We believe that they will be secure. We are concerned about the intimidation and what could happen in the days after.
I think what he's saying is he doesn't care about election integrity. He wants to have a society where the chief executive decides which votes count and which votes don't. And we've already seen this. It was the plot of a movie called January 6, 2021. And this time he doesn't have a pesky Mike Pence around to ruin the scheme for him. I mean, you listen to the sentence. He sent the director of national intelligence to go through 6-year-old ballot boxes in Georgia. Nothing weird about that, right? Completely normal presidential behavior. Oh, and she has FBI agents with them and puts Trump on speakerphone like he's giving a Peloton pep talk to these guys before they do an investigation that serves his personal interest. So already there's never going to be any kind of lawsuit you can go with on that one. So it's all the ingredients David talked about, and they are really counting on 1/3 of the population either falling for this or wanting to believe it.
It sets a precedent that, as Simone noted, we're going to really have to worry about this year. For the people who are confused about all the different moving pieces here, let me even further distill it. At the beginning of January, Donald Trump did a sit-down interview with the New York Times where he lamented and bemoaned the fact that he didn't seize the ballots in 2020. Now, it's not legal for the President of the United States to seize the ballots, right? And that was controversial that he was even lamenting it. And then 3 weeks later, FBI agents go and literally seize the ballots that he's upset that he didn't seize in 2020. Donald Trump.
Right. They're not speaking directly. They're speaking through Fox News.
Well, and then this week on NBC, he said, why were they down there? He defied all the explanations of his administration about foreign interference, and he said they're going to count that ballots and find out who won the 2020 election. If we take Donald Trump's word for it, in the interview with Tom Lamas in the Oval Office, the federal government is doing an illegal, secret recount of the 2020 election right now. That's not just illegal. It is fundamentally unconstitutional. If he can do it in Fulton County, where else will he do it in the country? Do we have to worry about FBI agents in 10 battleground states swooping in after the election? I think we now very much do.
He needs to hold on to power. They're doing myriad illegal things. And they're doing it largely with impunity right now, like with a few exceptions in the courts, and they've received pushback from the American people in certain places. But like in a lot of areas, they're doing it with impunity. And the Democrats take the gavel next year in the House, and especially if they took it in both in the House and the Senate, there's going to be some kind of accountability, maybe not the kind that we all want, but too much for Trump's taste. And so it's not surprising that they're looking for every possible vantage point to prevent that, or every possible tactic to prevent that. I agree with a lot of what Mark said there. I think that it's important to talk both about the threats and be clear about the threats, but also the ability to push back on those threats. I like the success in the redistricting is overwhelming. It's I think greater than almost everybody except Mark thought it could be, as far as what the potential bullishness it was for the Democrats gaining seats. And Louise Lucas, that you played in the intro, that in Virginia, and that story is particularly, we can take a lot of relish in that story in particular, because Republicans tried to gerrymander her out of her state Senate district a couple of years ago, and now she's coming back and getting revenge. And so good on her for playing hardball right back. So that backfired. I think that it's very possible that the Bannon plan for, putting masked thugs outside of voting, outside of election locations could backfire. I mean, that could motivate people to vote. In midterms, getting people out to vote is important. It could motivate people to mail in their ballots if there's enough of a campaign to educate people about this and to motivate people. So, I think that what they're doing is predictable. Being able to see it clear-eyed now early enough, and having Democratic politicians see it clear-eyed early enough to combat it, I think is important, rather than, just being, feeling hopeless about it.
But I do know something. Donald Trump is broken. Caroline Leavitt is broken. Stephen Miller is broken. Steve Bannon is broken. Kristi Noem is broken. And those broken people with these noxious views are running the damn country.
This is the primal scream of a dying regime. Pray for our enemies, because we're going medieval on these people. You're not got a free shot on all these networks lying about the people. The people have had a belly full of it. I know you don't like hearing that. I know you try to do everything in the world to stop that, but you're not going to stop it. It's going to happen.
And where do people like that go to share the big lie? MAGA media. I wish in my soul, that any of these people had a conscience.
Ask yourself, what is my task and what is my purpose? If that answer is to save my country, this country will be saved.
War Room. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
It's Saturday, 7 February, year of our Lord, 2026, our weekend show, our Saturday morning show that allows us to catch up. And you see right there, the Democrats all fight. Now, listen, this is the crowd that stole a federal election, plotted to steal a federal election, did everything to try to chop block President Trump, starting in the summer of love after the George Floyd situation, after we were hit with a Chinese bioweapon. Oh, by the way, a couple of biolabs found in Nevada. Now they arrested, I think, an Israeli-American, a dual citizen, and they just released him. I'll try to get more of that today if I can. If not, we'll do it Monday. After him with a bioweapon, remember, he had the summer of love. He had all the traitors inside of his own administration, stole the federal election. At the time, we laid out exactly how it was going to be stolen. Now, let me leave the machines aside, because the machines could be a whole, separate entity and even exacerbate what we know, but it's mail-in ballots. We know this now, and Cleta's going to join us. Others are going to join us from Georgia now that we've seized those ballots. Look how they're lying. Oh, they got these machines. No, these ballots under court order have been held. The FBI should have them. The same people that then allowed, planned, plotted, exacerbated 15 million people, just embrace that, 15 million people into the country. And now the weak sisters in the coalition that put President Trump over the top are sitting there going, oh, my gosh, it's just hardened criminals. We didn't know we didn't understand that you want to have mass deportations. Where were you? You were not listening. This is all about mass deportations. Every single illegal alien that came into the country has to go. The only way you're going to put American citizens first is to do that. So the very people that sat there and tried to gaslight you. The border's not closed. The border's closed. The border's not open. There's no open borders. Remember, Mayorkas and every one of those talking heads every day. For 15, President Trump says 25 million are now sitting there, and the worst thing in the world, they can't abide by just a legitimate ID, clean out the voter rolls of all the illegals and people that shouldn't be voting in districts, and put a modicum of signature verification on mail-in ballots. Think about that for a second. The bare minimum to have fair elections. And they're saying now we're going to, now people who never want to shut down the government, they'll shut down the government because of that. Listen to Simone in this crowd. That you think they were Dixiecrats with states' rights. Everything's all of a sudden, they're all federalists. it's all states' rights. Because they are insurrectionists, sanctuary cities. And you're getting the weakness, Polly Pockets. Johnson this week is telling all the donors that came back for these meetings, he's telling all the donors, and the Senate guy's telling the donors, the economy's going to be so on fire, you don't have to worry about anything else. That's old political thinking. The opposition's not thinking like that. They are turning out voters in the old-fashioned way, low propensity, low information voters. What is the key to win? People at their base, not independents. Polly Pox is telling people, well, the economy's going to be so great. It's the economy, stupid. Yes, the economy's a predicate. And President Trump's doing a magnificent job, and the growth's going to be there. But pointing to the stock market and talking about GDP, and we talk about GDP a lot, particularly as it goes down to per capita, and as it means jobs and it means growing wages. But hello, we're also warning you nonstop about artificial intelligence. Just the last couple of days, the artificial intelligence companies have confirmed they're spending $700 billion this year on artificial intelligence. Now, they can wave their hands any way they want, but one of the reasons you're having a traction problem right now with an explosion of employment, which you think you would have, particularly in value-added jobs, is artificial intelligence is going through low-level managerial, administrative, and STEM jobs like a scythe through grass. So you have that countervailing thing. Yes, the economy, President Trump's doing a magnificent job on that. And it's starting to turn. You see the green sprouts. And Scott Besson and Peter Navarro and Jameson Greer and, of course, Hassett. And now you're going to have a new Fed chair. And the Fed chair thinks you can get growth, non-inflationary growth with productivity. But his ideas are also predicated artificial intelligence. But you can't avoid the hard decisions, and now you have the Republicans, as they always do, running for the hills. This whole negotiation, you even have Caroline Leavitt and others sitting there going, well, maybe there's a couple things we can talk about on the proposal the Senate gave us about ICE. No, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. We control the Senate. We control the House. They're all sitting there wondering we can lose the Senate. Well, step up and do something. You have a massive lack of enthusiasm among the base because they're sitting there going, I'm just not feeling it right now. And you have some of our best pollsters, Barris and Mitchell, are consistent. Texas 9. Now you're starting to see people say, hey, I got to take this in my own hands. We're going to do it. We're going to get motivated. This is one of the reasons we've shifted down to Texas. It's the all-important, one of the biggest primaries in the history of the country for the United States Senate. Also, guess what? On 3 March, Sharia laws on the ballot. And that is a massive issue in this state and other states that the establishment does not want to address. We're going to have to force it.
Tired of struggling with that heavy leaf blower? It's so bulky and hard to use. Introducing the Bullseye Power Blower. It delivers a massive blowing force, and yet it's so compact and lightweight, under 2 pounds. Look at the raw power create a tidal wave of leaves and debris. It's like having a jet engine in the palm of your hand to clean faster and easier than ever. Forget big blower hassles. Now just grab, go, and blow to effortlessly clean any area. Just lock and load the rechargeable battery for long-lasting eye-watering runtime. We measured the wind speed of this bulky blower at 20 miles per hour, but Bullseye blows away the competition at 55 miles per hour. Cleaning gutters with a big corded blower is impossible, but Bullseye makes it easy. The secret is the compact turbocharged motor with proprietary jet burst technology that blasts out 21,000 RPMs of high-capacity airflow, easily knocking down these heavy bricks from afar. Just like a car wash blower, the force of Bullseye can dry your car in minutes, so it shines like new. Even blows snow right off your vehicle in no time. Sweeping is hard work, but Bullseye clears out crevices with zero effort. Turbo clean your porch in a flash, or tidy up your dirty garage floor in seconds. Watch this. The sheer force propels this woman across the pool. And check this out. Even use Bullseye to blow up a huge jump house. Now that's a crazy amount of air. A big bulky blower can cost $200, but get the Bullseye compact power blower today for just $99.99. But wait, act now and get a $20 discount. So it's only $79.99. Plus, you'll get the extension tube with flat power nozzle to boost your range even further. Choose the best length for any situation. Yours free. And it all comes with free shipping. Don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-280-2358 or go to bullseyeblower.com. Call 1-800-280-2358. That's 1-800-280-2358 or order online at bullseyeblower.com. Order now.
Donald Trump Jr. here with an urgent message about retirement accounts in America. My father just changed 401ks forever by initiating the process that will allow gold into 401ks. But here's even better news. You don't need to wait for your 401k provider. You can use this strategy today. With a self-directed gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group, you can convert your IRA or 401k into an account with all the same tax benefits, but you own something that will be there when you need it. To find out more, click the link below to get a free info kit on gold IRAs from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group. Inside, they will show you exactly how to diversify your IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Do it now before the rest of America jumps in. Click below for your free info kit.
Through the winter's ice and cold, down Nicollet Avenue, a city of flame fought fire and ice neath an occupier's boots. King Trump's private army from the DHS, guns belted to their coats, came to Minneapolis to enforce the law, or so their story goes. Against smoke and rubber bullets in the dawn's early light, citizens stood for justice, their voices ringing through the night. And there were bloody footprints where mercy should have stood.
I think we're going to take that down slowly, but that's okay. We want a hard cut. That's Bruce Springsteen's The Streets of Minneapolis. Of course, we played that, I think, starting the first couple of days it came out, and we did it with a different set of visuals, right, to make a statement. That song was still a monster hit and has become kind of the song that they're playing in this resistance movement, this insurrection, which I think, I've been an advocate from the beginning. Insurrection action be invoked, and we should go in and clean out this mess. But the powers that be have other ideas. In fact, quasi-retreating in Minneapolis. I talked to David Hoke and the team out there today that found the Somalian, the fraud. And I will tell you, the Treasury Department's all over that. It feels like it's a quasi stand down, and that's not the way you win here. Just not. And now we have other people talking about this Schumer negotiation in the Senate, and there's things that maybe we can discuss. Students sitting there, I think a couple of things sit down. There's nothing we sit down. Those things are absolutely outrageous. Should be dismissed out of hand. If they want to shut it down, they shut it down. Eric Schmidt told us the other day, Senator Schmidt said, hey, we have the money for ICE and for Border Patrol has already been allocated. So according to him, you're going to shut down other things. But hey, if the Democrats want to shut down the government over it, let's call them out. Let's call their bluff. Now, in narrative and information warfare, that song got a pretty strong reaction. I want to bring in Natasha Owens, obviously one of the great artists on the right. Natasha, you were particularly enraged by that because you were been a Bruce Springsteen fan. A lot of us ditched Bruce as a phony many, many decades ago. You hung in there. Why did this enrage you enough that you felt you had to go and create a counter anthem to that?
Because I'm so sick and tired of these Hollywood elites sitting in their mansions and looking down on everyone else and preaching the moral high road. I'm done. We put out a counter song, and this song not only hit #1, it was a cultural revolt. The working class just overthrew their so-called boss with my song.
Okay, let's go ahead and I want to play it in its entirety. This is The Boss from Natasha Owens in Real American Music. Let's go ahead and let it rip.
I danced to Rosalita. I shouted out Thunder Road. I used to believe you sang for me in those glory days of old. Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for the working man? I was born in the USA, and you spilled my promised land. You preach from your mansion, but you don't know the cost. I thank God you're not the boss. What about Lake and Riley? Is Charlie too hard to say? What about when you took your shot at the one you call king? Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for the working man? I was born in the USA, and you spit on my promised land. You preach from your mansion, but you don't know the cost. I thank God you're not the boss. I still believe in freedom, 'cause I've got a higher hope. I'll keep singing for America, even if you won't. Where is a song of compassion? Where is your song for the hurting man? I was born in the USA, and I used to be a loyal fan. You preach from your mansion, and you lost that human touch. I thank God you're not. I thank God you're
You know, you still need help from the boss. We need help from the boss.
Well, welcome back. Natasha Owens is the artist. Now, look, I'm predisposed, Natasha. People know this, and I'm pretty vocal about it. I'm not a fan of AI, either music or graphics, but this song is my guilty pleasure. And the musicology, I might add, the musicology department of the War Room staff are not fans, but there's a reason you did this and had to do it. Tell me why you used artificial intelligence, because why'd you do that? Because you're a great artist in and of yourself, ma'am.
We had to do it so quick. His came out last Thursday, and I was so enraged that by Friday night we had a song written. By Saturday we had it recorded, and you just can't turn that quickly. I mean, I wore my entire team out. But, you know, Hollywood has anointed him the moral authority. The people just stripped him of that crown with this song. I hope your audience knows what exactly happened. The music charts just turned into judgment, and the American people voted against the elites. They voted against the open borders and against being lied to. Bruce Springsteen did not choose America. He chose the ruling class over the working class, and the working class just responded. A song about American victims beat a song about glorifying protesters who defied law enforcement. This tells you exactly where the soul of this country still is. They
That's
hate
amazing.
populism. They hate populism because it bypasses their gatekeepers. No label, no media blessing, just Americans buying clicks. It is extra hard for me to get to the top of the charts. This is all American voices right here. And Steve, you said it for years, culture drives politics. This right here is the proof. We didn't win an argument right now. We just won massive territory.
No, it's amazing. The culture, as Andrew used to say, culture is Andrew Breitbart, culture is upriver from politics. This shows it. It's been a tremendous outpouring. Like I said, as soon as Rob Sigg showed it to me, I said, I love this song. It's a guilty pleasure. Now, the question the musicology department at the War Room has, are you and your band going to put together you're going to actually do a version of this that we can then put against the boss directly, mano a mano, and see who can top the charts then?
Absolutely. Well, I think this is a response to him right beside mano to mano, but we will create anything that you think we need to create. This was a shot across the bow. We hit for the heart. We didn't just hit the arm here.
Oh, no. It's, by the way, it's definitely hit. I mean, the MAGA base loves the song. And yes, it's gone, I think, number one in a couple of categories overnight, which is just astounding, given the fact that he has a massive distribution apparatus in back of him, and you do not. Talk to me about the Super Bowl. Today, we've got the alternative Real America's Voice is going to cover. Starts at 7 o'clock. We're cutting in at 7 o'clock, Real America's Voice, and then as soon as the halftime show takes place, talk to me about your assessment of the National Football League having Bad Bunny up in the grill of the American people, particularly about this issue of mass deportations, ma'am.
You know, America, the heart of American sports is football. And so that's the reason why they've targeted this. It is absolutely disgraceful to have Bad Bunny, who doesn't even know what gender he is, who doesn't even know if he wants to wear pants or skirt on any particular day, put him up on the biggest day for American football in the entire year. I think you're going to see a massive statement being made on Sunday. You're going to see the viewership completely tank at halftime. And you're going to see millions and millions and millions, just like they tuned into Charlie Kirk's funeral. You're going to see this, and it's going to send a shockwave, absolute shockwave through American culture.
Well, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight, cut over to Real America's Voice. As soon as the halftime show starts playing, they'll cut into the Charlie Kirk Turning Point produced alternative halftime shows Charlie's wanted to do for a long time. Natasha, where do people go to find this song, also more of your music, because you've had some amazing hits. You know we've loved your songs for years, known you for a long time. Where do they go to find out more about you, social media, your music, all of it, ma'am?
They just Google Natasha Owens or NatashaOwensMusic.com as a landing page. Here's what I need your viewers to do. This will send a massive shockwave. Right now, it's #1 on the rock charts, which is an achievement in itself, considering I can't advertise. They suppress me and discriminate against me. I need it #1 on all of iTunes, which makes it #1 on Billboard. The longer it stays there, the more credibility our statement, our stance, and the more territory that we get. So if you can buy it on iTunes, if you stream it on Spotify, that's great, but 350 streams equals 1 buy on iTunes. It really doesn't make a difference because it's so diluted. So please go out and buy it on iTunes today and share it with everybody you know. I appreciate it.
Natasha Owens, you are a patriot and American hero, ma'am. Love this song. Thank you. Natasha Owens takes us out to break.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
Life is precious.
I want to make a point. No matter what happens, I'll always be there for you.
I know. When a woman experiences an unplanned pregnancy, she's faced with a difficult decision. Preborn connects with life-affirming pregnancy clinics across the nation and provides them with free ultrasound sessions for expectant mothers. When a mother sees her baby on an ultrasound and hears their heartbeat, it doubles the chance she'll choose life. With your gift of $28, Preborn will provide a free ultrasound for an expectant mother. Visit preborn.com/life to save a baby's life.
What do you do when your tire goes flat and there's no air anywhere? You reach for Bullseye Pro, the smarter, faster, hands-free way to fill it up with air. Bullseye Pro is equipped with a rechargeable lithium-ion power plant. So fast and so convenient. It's like the power of an air compressor in the palm of your hand. Look, you can inflate all 4 tires on a single charge. It has a built-in smart pressure digital sensor that gauges and automatically stops when the set tire pressure is reached. Easily inflate pool toys, exercise balls, and more. Call or go online now and get the complete Bullseye Pro inflation system for the factory direct price of just $79.99. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free, and we'll give you a 50% discount on a second one. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-976-9718. That's 1-800-976-9718, or go to getbullseyepro.com.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
War Room. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Okay, markets are all over the place. The crypto market is in a historic implosion. I think it's wiped off $1.7 trillion of wealth in, I don't know, the last couple of weeks. It steadied a little bit, but I think people are coming to the conclusion it may not be an alternative countercyclical to other stocks, bonds, other things like gold has proven for 5,000 years. Don't take it from me. Go to the pros. Go to Birch Gold. Go to birchgold.com, promo code Bannon, end of the dollar empire, 7 free installments, an 8th one we're coming out with. Also take your phone out, Bannon, B-A-N-N-O-N, at 989898. Just text us. You get a free guide, no obligation, totally free, all the information. In fact, Birch Gold's every day is putting out information if you go to their site. Free to make you an informed investor on gold. Understand why the central banks of the world are buying it at record rates. You understand that, you're going to understand a lot. Birchgold.com, promo code Bannon, end of the dollar empire. Get to Philip Patrick and the team today. Okay, why some of us are working in the great state of Texas, an honor to be here, an honor to be embraced by so much of the grassroots. Others are lollygagging around in Mar-a-Lago. I'm just kidding. Every day's a work day for Mike Lindell. Mike Lindell, I got a question. The situation in Minneapolis really hasn't gotten any better. Number one, we've kind of stood down. I haven't seen any cooperation. I mean, none. I was told there's going to be unprecedented cooperation by Homan. I haven't seen any with the criminals. And we're not doing patrols. We're not rounding up even scintilla of mass deportations yet. The bad guys are still there. The insurrection is still there. They've taken over the streets. They're attacking hotels, smashing cars. They're lawless in the streets of Minneapolis, and it looks like the governor is instigating it instead of stopping it. As you want to be governor of this state, you're putting your business, everything aside to run as governor of the state. What are you going to do about it?
Well, Steve, the number one thing is bring back law enforcement, back our police in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and enforce our protester laws. Minnesota and Minneapolis has some of the strictest laws. They're not getting enforced. My friends that live downtown Minneapolis, they said it's horrible. They block the streets off. When they come to pick their children up or they're coming to their house, they stop them and say, "Who are you?" and stuff, and showing IDs. They're doing exactly what they said that ICE was doing. They're sitting there going through every car. Do you live on this block? Who are you? It's disgusting. People are in fear. The protesters are the ones causing all the problems there, and which is our governor, because he's not enforcing these protester laws. Steve, the first day I'm governor, I'm going to bring back the police, get the protesters laws put into place, and arrest these people that are blocking people from getting from point A to point B, and then also ban Sharia law. You need to ban that. That's all over downtown Minneapolis, and ban that. And then we want to work with the federal government to say, hey, here's the illegals. Here's our illegals. As they get arrested by locals, you keep getting arrested. Here they are. Come and get them. Come and get them. Come and get them. And it's very common sense solutions. You got to follow the law. There's nothing wrong with protesting, but you don't break laws to protest. It's that simple. You have to. Remember, our governor and mayor, they burned down the precinct in the summer of 2020. They need to back our local law enforcement more than anything, any time in history, and enforce these laws. They lied to the president, Steve. They out lied and said, we're going to do this and this. They've done nothing. Yeah. You're exactly right.
And we shouldn't stand down. We should double down, not stand down. Sally Grubbs from Georgia is going to be with us in a second. Talk about patriots and talk about forcing things. This voter fraud, Mike, which I know you were one of the big folks in backing from the very beginning. It really began your political change when you saw the 2020 election stolen. Second hour of the show is going to be War Room Texas. We're going to talk about issues in Texas that are national issues. One, and you've been inspired by this. What are you going to do? Your first act as governor is to do what, you told me?
Ban Sharia law, Steve. Minnesota's been the Trojan horse for this for a long time. It's been problems with our businesses and everything. It's horrible. Downtown, they're ringing the bell, waking people up every day for the call to Allah or whatever they're doing. This goes back to 2016 when Cargill had to fire 200 of them because they wanted to shut down their lines. The Muslims did, the Somalis did, shut down their lines right in the middle of their workday. And now with all the fraud going on.
Hang on. How do you have Keith Ellison is a Sharia compliant Muslim. How have we allowed him to try to shut down a Christian? You've established a Christian network for rehab because, as you told me, you were a degenerate gambler and a drug addict, right? Yep. And terrible. God changed your life. Jesus Christ changed your life. To offer something back, you set up this amazing network of Christian-based operation to help people with their addiction, and you had a Sharia-compliant Muslim trying to shut down. How does that work in America, sir? That confuses me.
It's so bad, Steve. This is actually going on right now. My lawyers, everybody, had to get an extension. You are correct. Keith Ellison, his office it's been coming on for a year now. They've been doing this against the Lindell Recovery Network. He's full on attack with my network. And he gave me an extra week because I went down here to Mar-a-Lago. Gave me an extra week to get into to supply all this. They're doing all this due diligence that they're doing. They want bank accounts and everything going back to 2018. They're just trying to tie me up and attack. Remember, we've been debanked and everything with the attack by our own government back then. But Keith Ellison, this Muslim, this radical. Basically a radical Islam guy, and he's attacked us. He doesn't want Jesus Christ being out there. He doesn't want people getting off addiction and finding the Lord. And everybody, if you go to LindellRecoveryNetwork.org, you got an addict, send them there because getting off the drugs and stuff is just a bonus. Getting to Jesus is the big win. And he's all out attacking that and my foundation, Steve, because that also solves a lot of the problems we have in Minneapolis and St. Paul when you call these welfare programs. So I know. But I'll tell you, you guys, I need help. I'm sitting here right now where we're going to have our event tonight here in Mar-a-Lago. And this is a national issue. So everyone's poured in the support for me running for governor, you guys. It's MikeLindellGov.com. That's MikeLindellGov.com. We have a great plan to beat Amy Klobuchar. I just polled #1 in the polls 3 days ago, you guys. #1 of the Republicans in Minnesota by the current poll. And I'm going to be letting the president know that. We're going to have this great event here tonight, and everybody getting behind us. We can win, and we will win, everybody. MikeLindellGov.com. Help out now. This is, Steve, I'm not letting up on the election platforms either. You wait. In Minnesota, we're going after everything we can to make it one of the most secure elections this country's ever had in these midterms.
Okay, if they can't steal it, they can't win. It's obvious. They don't have the support of the American people. They're a bunch of illegal aliens, and that's why they're trying to stop voter ID. It's so obvious. Their play is so obvious. It makes you sick to your stomach. The audience wants to know, okay, this is all great. They support you. They love you. The president supports you. They love you. You're down there with a great Glenn story. But talk to me about a deal. They want to know what you're going to do for us today.
Yeah, this is the last weekend, you guys. It's the time of the year where we have two sales collided. Our first one is our mattress topper and mattresses. We're going to run that through the weekend. You guys get free shipping made in the USA on any mattress or mattress topper. And then also the mega sale. This is our second annual mega sale. Check out just one of the things, the 6-piece towel sets. $34.98. These are normally $69.98. They're half price. You guys, you can save on the sheets, the Giza sheets, as low as $29.98. You guys, all the colors and new colors just came in this week. So you guys take advantage of this mega sale. It's free shipping. We're doing through the weekend. So, and to get my employees, my employee-owned company, they want to feel secure. You guys get the best sleep of your life. Go to mypillow.com/war room. There it is. Free shipping on your entire order. There you see the beds, the mattress topper sale. We're going to run through the weekend to turn your bed into the best bed ever. The beds, 100% made. We have the technology no one else has, Steve. So you get the best sleep of your life, everybody. We have the My Crosses, you guys. We have over 200 products using that promo code War Room. And you can call 800-873-1062. Every day, my employees are so grateful for the War Room Posse that you've stuck with us now and during these attacks for the last 5 years, where they tried to put my pillow under so that I would quit talking about our elections.
Hell, they're not going to put my pillow under. My pillow's thriving, and hell, you're going to be governor of the state. You've already gotten rid of Waltz, and you're about to get rid of Klobuchar and take her out of the Senate. Right. Makes the Senate easier to hold. Mike Lindell, tell everybody down in Mar-a-Lago we said hi. Love you guys. Glenn Story and the team. Patriot Mobile's down there to support you. President's down there too. Have a great event, Mike.
Thanks, Steve. God bless you. Promo code War Room, everybody.
Most powerful promo code in the business. Okay, I'm going to tell my staff, I just want to play the Sally Grubb piece, not the Eddie Glaude. I'll get back to Eddie Glaude. But this morning, Sally's going to join us. Sally Grubb is viral this morning on a piece I think that's 5 years old. Let's go ahead and let her rip. We'll bring Sally in.
Well, that means that anyone who keeps talking about election fraud, since it doesn't exist, that they are the same as people from Iran. That's what was posted. And so I got into a conversation about that. And this was the post. Gabe Sterling posted this. Iran has worked to foment division in our nation. Those continuing to claim the election was stolen are supporting the tactical actions of Iran. This is the state of Georgia. This is the city of Atlanta. And I want Mr. Sterling to answer for accusing people like me who have a job and children and families. I want him to come in here and explain to me how I'm like someone from Iran trying to steal an election. When we have seen the fraud, we have been lied to, we have been distracted, we've been held up, and we're tired of it. And it's time that you people stand up. And I have emailed legislators. We have formed a group called the Angry Patriots of Georgia, and you can tell I'm angry. I am tired of people that we vote to put in office are stabbing us in the back, and they're not doing anything to protect anything. We have begged for you to convene the legislature. We have had people come from out of state on their own dime. I've spent hundreds of my own dollars trying to get the point across. Susan has spent hundreds of her own dollars to get you people to listen, and I don't know what it's going to take. I, honest to God, don't know what it's going to take. Every legislator got a DocuSign document that people don't even bother to open. We are the citizens of this state. We deserve to be heard, and we are tired of it. How many people do we have to drag through here? I'm missing work right now. I missed work the last hearing, Senate hearing. We have begged to be heard, and I'm asking, are you hearing us yet? Is anyone hearing us yet? What do you need to know? I will tell you. Would you like to see my phone that I've backed up in 5 different places because I'm afraid someone's going to steal it and steal the evidence? And you know what? At Jim Miller Park, you can't take a phone in there now. If they're so lily white clean, as they say from the GBI, how come you can't even have a phone in there anymore? That screams fraud to me, and it's happening in the Senate election, and that election needs to be stopped until we have a better way to vote. Thank you very much.
Right there, that's an American patriot. Sally Grubb joins us. Sally, we got a minute on this side. I'm going to hold you through. Put in context, that was powerful, baby. Put in context, where were you? That was 5 years ago, ma'am. It's going viral this morning. Where were you and what you were talking about? We got 30 seconds, then we'll come back from the break. What do you got for us?
Thanks, Steve. That was a Senate Judiciary hearing in, I believe it was December 30th of 2020. As you can tell, things have changed. It's 5 years later. I'm just as passionate now as I was then. The landscape has changed. I'm now on the state election board to try and help get to the bottom of things and make sure we have free and fair elections in Georgia. But how the turn of events have happened in Georgia, it's very interesting this week, Steve.
It's interesting because you stood in the breach. It could have been very easy for you to go do that and just fade away. You did not. I cannot speak highly enough of the Caroline Jeffers, the Sally Grubbs, the Dr. Jans Johnston, all of it, the Cleta Mitchells, everybody that's hung in there. We would not, and you're going to see things that come out of those ballots the FBI sees that are going to shock the nation, those of you who have not awakened. What did it take? It took patriots. This is just like 1774, 1775, 1776, exactly the same thing. Great patriots. Sally Grubb is a great patriot. She's on the other side.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like men over 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone, and some didn't. This guy got the message loud and clear.
That's right, Nugenix Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC comes Nugenix Total T2, a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle by texting SURGE to 321-321.
Thanks. It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
New T2 is not available in stores or on Amazon. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text SURGE to 321-321. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X absolutely free.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
I'm a J6er, and I spent 3 months in jail and about a year in prison.
I spent 4 years out of an 18-year sentence in prison.
J6ers have been smeared and defamed by the media, persecuted by the government, and treated like terrorists.
J6ers are patriotic men and women, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers from all walks of life.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
And we need your help.
For just $10 or more, you're helping these patriots get mental, physical, and spiritual help.
Please scan the QR code or go to j6support.com to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
War Room. Here's your host, Stephen K. Bannon.
Sally Grubbs, you're now on the Georgia State Election Board. Of course, on MSNBC every night, they're literally wetting themselves about the power that you and Dr. Jan have. What was your position at the time? We just heard that amazing talk before the Senate. What was your official position?
I was Jane Q. Public, Steve. I was nobody, a mom, a business owner and runner. I'm just a Georgia person who cares about elections. And I got a phone call that they were not allowing Republican watchers in during the recount. And so, I got my car. Some people run when they hear the hoofbeats. I run towards the fire. And, it just wasn't right, Steve. And I knew that something was rotten in Denmark from the get-go. So I went over there, and then that led to, the recount happening. And then when the shredding truck, if you recall, Susan Knox, who I later became friends with, we didn't know each other at all, but we're just American citizens that care about what's happening in our country. And so we went and saw the shredding truck shredding things. They say, were there ballots, were there not? Well, we'll never know. There was evidence there that was shredded. And that's what had me so hot before the Senate Judiciary Committee is, hey, guys, we have this very, very important Senate runoff happening, Senate election with Senator David Perdue and Senator Kelly Loeffler. We still had elections going on. And it's like, hold the presses. We need to figure out what's going on before we have additional elections where we don't know what's going on with these votes. And so that's what got me started, Steve. And I dug in and, did the best I knew how by becoming active in the GOP and trying to work things from the inside, understand and win people over. I think there's a lot of people that just don't understand, the depth of what's happened. You get the normalcy bias going on. They just want to say nothing to see here and move on. And but we have issues from the 2022 election, the 2024 election. Things have got to be fixed.
Oh, no.
And that's the bottom line.
Not just fix accountability. They stole Georgia in 2020, Raffensperger and all of them. This is, and I might add, guys, that this is principally Garland Favorita aside and a couple of David Schaefer. This is really the angry women down in Georgia just sat there and go, we're not going to let this go. This has been so easy to just say, I can't do it anymore, et cetera. 5 years. Now we have the FBI on a criminal investigation. Tulsi Gabbard is on an overall investigations. My sources tell me it is pretty explosive what they're finding. And this is why the mainstream media is going nuts. Why did he seize the ballots? Why is the FBI? This is all jackbooted. Far from it. We're going to get to the bottom of the sting of the 2020 election. It's the railhead of everything. Sally, you're viral this morning on a 5-year-old clip. Where do people get you to find out about the current fight? Your social media, website, all of it, because Georgia is the beating heart of this steal. It's going to spread to Arizona. It's going to spread to Pennsylvania. You got bad news for the mainstream media. It's spreading to Arizona and to Pennsylvania next. But where do people go to find out more about you, ma'am?
I'm on X. I don't have much time for social media, Steve, because I'm going from place to place. But at first, one STVC GAGOP, that's me. I'm also the first vice chair of the Georgia GOP and on the Georgia State Election Board. And we just want to make some progress and see things are done right.
Set things right. It sure is the turning of the earth. Thank you, ma'am. You're a hero, patriot.
Thank you.
Caroline Jefferson, another shout out to Caroline Jefferson. That team fought for 5 years. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We are getting to the bottom of it. Caroline yesterday or the other day, let me play this clip and I'll bring in, we're going to talk about truckers next. Let's go and play it.
4 Americans were tragically killed and lost their lives this week yet again from an illegal alien, an individual who was paroled into the country by the Biden administration using the CBP One app, which they created like it was a magic pass for Disneyland. That's not how immigration in this country should work. And this illegal alien from Kyrgyzstan was traveling on an Indiana highway and he failed to brake for a slowed semi-truck in front of him. He swerved into the lane and he crashed into a van carrying 50 15 passengers, and 4 people were killed in that crash. This is another tragedy that could have been prevented if not for the wide open borders from the previous administration. That's why we now have a secure border. That's why this administration will continue to deport illegal aliens from our country.
Okay, Shannon Everett with American Truckers Unite, you on yesterday. I wanted back on. They signed an executive order. We had the War and Posse stand up, have you guys back. Explain to the audience, we've kind of solved part 1, but we're fighting Wall Street and the big corporations on part 2, which is probably the more important part. Just walk us through what our dilemma is, what we've solved, the good news, and what we got to solve.
The great news is now people know that we have a problem. For the last 5 to 10 years, people didn't understand the real issue here of safety on our highways being driven mostly by unqualified and unvetted illegal alien truck drivers. And so huge success with getting the message out. Our social medias have been on fire. There's also a new army of people in social media engagement that have now picked up this issue. The mainstream media has picked up on the issue. But getting to the solution is where we're struggling now, and that's because we have support from the executive branch. We have completely stalled out with our legislators, and that's because yesterday you highlighted the term government capture, I think, or regulatory capture, I think is what you called it. And that is absolutely the case in the trucking industry. We're represented by only really one association, and that one association and the federal agency that governs the trucking industry are working really closely together to support Wall Street instead of Main Street. And what I mean by that is, the generational legacy American-owned trucking companies that are family-owned and have been around for 50 and 100 years, they're going out of business every week. Just this week, I think I heard of at least 2 or 3 more carriers that have filed bankruptcy. But I talk to business owners each and every day that have been in the middle of a 4-year-long artificial supply crisis, a crisis in the trucking industry where rates have collapsed. And all of that is rooted in this labor dumping where all of these drivers were brought in by open borders and have collapsed the prices inside the trucking industry. And so the American people didn't vote just to stop bringing them in and issuing them licenses. The American people voted to get them out too. And so it's not enough to stop giving them licenses. Amen. We have to go after them. If they don't have legal status, we need to revoke every license that's been issued.
Hang on for a second. You're absolutely correct. I want to hang you over to the next hour. We're going to go out with our great music. We're going to come in. War Room Texas is going to be next, but we're going to talk about issues that affect everywhere, but people down in Texas are taking the bull by the horns and going to change things. Birchgold.com. Make sure you take your phone out, text Bannon, Bannon, at 989898. Get the ultimate guide, totally free, for investing in gold and precious metals. Most importantly, it puts you in direct contact with Philip Patrick and his team. Ask him the question, hey, I've missed out here. This thing moved from 1,000 to 5,000. Is it too late? Ask Philip Patrick and his team. Short break. War Room Texas is next.
There are few things more aggravating than seeing your tax dollars wasted by the government. All too often, when big government tries to save the day, the funds sent around the world to help people in need are diverted by corrupt leaders to line their own pockets, enrich their cronies, or further an agenda that has nothing to do with helping their countrymen. You can do a better job at promoting freedom than any government can. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV today to join the worldwide freedom movement. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an Atlas Network exclusive hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. We identify, train up, and celebrate local leaders as they work to make freedom a reality across the world. Our partners often risk everything, their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives to fight for freedom in places where authoritarianism reigns. Visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV or scan the QR code to join our mission to help pro-freedom organizations around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive Atlas Network hat.
America's in a fight for her soul. Our freedoms are under attack. Our values are being torn down. And the same corrupt elites who built this mess think they can silence us. The patriots who still believe in this country. Not a chance. Here at Real America's Voice, we're standing shoulder to shoulder with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, a movement that says we will not be silenced.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
The voice of millions of patriots who refuse to kneel to tyranny. This is the movement of fighters, men and women who still believe in God, family, and the American dream. The conservative alternative to AARP.
Real rights, they come from God.
If you're ready to stand up and join the fight, go to amac.us/RAV right now. That's amac.us/RAV, because this isn't just about politics. It's about saving America. Faith, freedom, America first. AMAC and Real America's Voice, united for the Republic.
I think of the freedom from suffering that Buddhism teaches us is only possible if we remove the three poisons of desire, hatred, and ignorance from our daily lives. We need not accept suffering as unchangeable. We need not treat hatred as the natural state. We have the power to set ourselves free. And I consider my own faith, Islam, a religion built upon a narrative of migration. The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, as for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world. Or as the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers. If faith offers us the moral compass to stand alongside the stranger, government can provide the resources. Let us create a new expectation of City Hall, where power is wielded to love, to embrace, and to protect. We will stand with the stranger today.
Islamic jihadis are plotting against you.
Why in the hell you think they're in Houston and in north of Dallas?
They are working together to overthrow Western civilization.
Sharia compounds, which are areas governed by religious rules.
We know who you are, we know what you are, and we know what you're trying to accomplish, and it is not going to happen in the jewel of the crown of the union of this republic.
We purge any attempt to impose Sharia law in Texas.
They are not coming, they are already here.
You are not here properly, and you're going to leave. On the 3rd of March, Sharia law goes on the ballot in the state of Texas.
The United States Constitution and Sharia are fundamentally at odds with one another.
We're going to tell them, take your Sharia law and shove it.
Islam will never dominate the United States, and by the grace of God, it will not dominate Texas.
As Texas goes, so goes the nation. As the nation goes, so goes the world. Are you prepared to fight for this state? Are you prepared to fight for your country?
War Room Texas, where your host, Stephen K. Bannon, starts right now.
Okay, we have shifted the flag to Texas in the run-up to this very important primary. All important primary is going to take place on 3 March. It is Saturday, 7 February in the year of our Lord 2026. I'm going to go back to the truckers in a second, and Rosemary Jenks is also going to join me. These are people that are taking action to solve problems. Just like in the last last hour, we talked to Sally Grubbs down in Georgia. These are people that are up off the couch and are fighting. They are using what we call their agency to bend the arc of history. We're the first show, I think, nationally to pull that clip from Mondami. I told everybody back in February, a year ago, that this guy, when Alex DeGrasse started to warn people about what this is going to happen with Mondami, you're seeing it now all over the country. He's in your grill. And it's only the first year of his, first 30 days of his administration in the financial capital of the world. He's making an argument of how Islam in the law, the rule of Sharia and other aspects of Islam support theoretically mass migration into the United States of America. Don't take it any other way. He is in your face on this. Mary Rourke from the Daily Caller joins us. Mary, I know that you're doing a lot of the activities around your daughter's sports this weekend. I really appreciate you taking time to do this on a Saturday morning But your article yesterday in the Daily Caller was just magnificent. I want you to take a second and explain to folks. We're down here in Texas for the run-up, and you've nailed a very important story. Can you walk us through what this story is and why it's important, ma'am?
Yes. Thanks so much for having me, Steve. I got a call and someone told me, hey, you should go back and watch the Kaufman County Commissioner meeting from November 2025 and then the last two in February, and just see if you're seeing what I'm seeing. And as I'm going back, it starts to look a little bit mundane, and it's your typical daily business of the county. And then all of a sudden you have a lawyer come up in February, talking about how he's representing a holding company who wants to come in and buy some land, but what they really need is 3 water districts from the county. He doesn't really say what the development is going to be. He doesn't give any aspects. He claims he's going to give all of this information at the next one. He's not asking for the water districts at this meeting. He wants to get them approved for next meeting, and he'll bring all the information for the citizens to understand what these water districts are going to be used for. Well, thankfully, a concerned citizen at the very end of the meeting asked for a special, request for a question to come up, and he says, who exactly is this holding company that you're representing? Are they from America? Come to find out that it's an SEE holding company based out of Dubai. And, Texans are very sensitive to this, especially after the Epic City, what's going down in Houston. I mean, we've had 42 mosques being built in the last 24 months in Texas. There's clearly a spread of Islam here. And that caught my attention. So I started doing a little bit more research and found out that in 2022, Kaufman Solar LLC, which is actually owned by NextAir, it's one of the largest solar and wind energy companies in the world. They bought this massive parcel of land in order to be able to put a solar farm on top of it. Then now right across the road is where SEE Holdings wants to put this development in. So I start asking around, and what people are saying is that this is going to be another Muslim community. They want to be able to put a mosque there, a school there, and at least 20 to 30,000 residents. I was talking to a septic design company, and they were saying if you need 3 different water districts, you're talking about a massive amount of traffic that's going to come in there. We're not talking about 100, 200, maybe 1,000 people. We're talking about thousands of people that are expected to be coming into that area. And, when I was talking to the residents, a lot of them wanted to remain anonymous. I mean, it's a small town, but they still don't really trust their officials there. And they were saying their biggest worries are, one, this tried to happen in Hunt County, which is a county right over, and they got moved. We're not quite sure if it's the same exact holding company or not, but it clearly looks like there's a pattern. They get kicked out of one county, so they go to another county. So if the Kaufman County residents are able to push them out, people in Texas have to be aware that they're just going to go to the next available county and see. I did talk to Representative Lance Gooden's office. They claimed that they were in these initial meetings talking to the holding company and said that there had to be citizen buy-in on this one. They didn't hear anything about the 20,000 Muslims that are supposed to be coming into this, and they didn't hear anything about schools, and they promised that they're going to be able to be put in writing that there's going to be no mosques and schools there. But there are some citizens that claim that they know that school board officials, including superintendents for both Terrell ISD and Kaufman ISD, were contacted before citizens knew about this development, meaning that there is some conversation being had about how many kids are either going to go into the public school or if there's going to be a school by itself. And we all know what that means. If you're going to build a Muslim-only school in this area, that means they're going to be indoctrinated into this radicalized faith. And that flies in the face of what Texas stands for. I'm a 9th generation Texan. I have 4 children that live here. Countless nieces and nephews. We come from a big Catholic family. We like to have children, and what we want is to be able to raise our kids in a community that resembles what we were born into. And it looks like slowly but surely that's being eroded away here.
Mary is 9th generation Texas. I want you to embrace that. And she's the mother of a 10th generation. Mary, here's what, and I want to have you back. I know you got family stuff this weekend, because here is the importance of her article. It's the level of sophistication of this. Mm-hmm. These are just not people that are, we want to do. No, this is highly sophisticated. It's highly sophisticated of how they're 2 things. Number one, how they're going to finance it and build it but also number two, how they're going to shield it from public scrutiny to actually get it built and then just have it so people go, oh my God, how did that happen? This is the type of investigative reporting that we need in Texas every day. This is happening all over the state. This state is a target. This is a highly sophisticated operation financed from the Gulf Emirates, this out of Dubai, a Dubai corporation. But the legal aspect of this, by people in the United States, and you have collaborators, you have real estate people, you have builders, you have architects, you have engineers, you have environmental scientists, you have American citizens that are working hand in glove and what you are collaborators, and you're all going to be outed. You are working. This is a very, not just serious, this is a quite dangerous situation. Mary, how did you come about? Somebody told you about this. You went back and looked at all the commission meetings and you realized something was wrong, and then you got into just doing the reporting. Is that how you came about with this magnificent story?
Absolutely. And then I have a source down there who said, you should look at this deed that was sold over here for this Kaufman Solar Company. I think that it's connected. And as I'm doing the research, I'm thinking to myself, of course it's connected, because when you look at SE Holdings website out of Dubai, this is going to be one of their first major developments here in Texas. And when you look at their pieces in Dubai, it's all about sustainable living. So it's all about, using that quote unquote climate energy, like this safe climate energy of solar and wind, and using that kind of as a scapegoat to say we're going to build these Muslim only communities here in Dubai, which doesn't seem that off put because it's Dubai. But when you come into Texas, we're a Christian state, and we've always been a Christian state. We were, that's something that feels very off culture for us. And so at first, when you look at it, it looks really mundane. You're just thinking, oh, they're just getting some of these subsidies from the government. You're looking at it and you're going, Elon Musk is talking about how he needs to be putting up all of these solar farms and how it takes massive amount of land. But when you look at it and you connect it to SEE Holdings, all of a sudden it becomes a little bit more sinister. And I think that there's something that needs to be really driven home here. The residents of that county are angry at the fact that the county commissioners and the county judge there seemingly kept this from them and tried to hide it. I mean, if you watch these county commissioner meetings, you can see the judge is buddy-buddy with the Dallas lawyer. He's not pushing back. They're not really asking any questions. They're not trying to do any fact finding or due diligence on behalf of the citizens in which they're supposed to represent. Instead, it's just, this is kind of part of the law that we have to allow this to come to a vote. So I'll be the first to say yes to it, and we'll move it off to the next meeting. And then all of a sudden, my source tells me that these people are getting inundated with calls, none of which they're answering. Okay. They started answering before my piece and telling people that they hadn't heard of it. They didn't know what the development was, nothing like that. Then after the piece comes out, phone calls stop. They're not answering. They're not answering emails. They refuse to answer my emails, and they're seemingly keeping it from the public. And now they've removed the agenda item for next Tuesday's meeting in order to, they claim, give them more time to give the public enough information so that they can understand what the development is.
Let me tell these county commissioners something, and let me tell the folks down there who've been hiding this from the people, and let me tell the lawyers, you're collaborationist. You're going to be outed. Each and every one of you are going to be outed. What you've tried to do to this great state and to this nation is outrageous, and you're a traitor. You're a flat-out traitor. And if it wasn't for heroes like Mary that do the work and the whistleblowers, you wouldn't know anything about it. The people down in Kaufman and in Hunt, this is the whole reason we're down here. This has been going on for too long. You are not going to sell out this state. This state, and I say this as a Virginian, is the jewel in the crown of the Union. If we lose Texas, the country's gone. And that's why this primary is so important in this Proposition 10 of banning Sharia law in the great state of Texas. Mary, we're going to push this everywhere. I want this story to go viral. Just amazing work over the Daily Caller. Where can people get the article? What is your social media? Where can they get you, ma'am?
So go to thedailycaller.com. You can either go dailycaller.com/Mary Rook, and you'll be able to find all my pieces down there. Also, you can find me at @Mary Rook_ on X. And then I'll just say that there's going to be a couple more pieces in the works on this. I'm not leaving this story behind. This is something that I need the county residents to understand. We're not forgetting about this. We're not going to let them kick the can then all the noise goes away. We're not leaving this alone because this county deserves to be protected and their county officials are not doing it.
The other eight generations be quite proud of you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mary Rourke. Okay, we're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to turn in War Room, Texas. I hope your blood is boiling right now. In a moment.
Tired of struggling with that heavy leaf blower? It's so bulky and hard to use. Introducing the Bullseye Power Blower. It delivers a massive blowing force, and yet it's so compact and lightweight, under 2 pounds. Look at the raw power create a tidal wave of leaves and debris. It's like having a jet engine in the palm of your hand to clean faster and easier than ever. Forget big blower hassles. Now just grab, go, and blow to effortlessly clean any area. Just lock and load the rechargeable battery for long-lasting runtime. We measured the wind speed of this bulky blower at 20 miles per hour, but Bullseye blows away the competition at 55 miles per hour. Cleaning gutters with a big corded blower is impossible, but Bullseye makes it easy. The secret is the compact turbocharged motor with proprietary jet burst technology that blasts out 21,000 RPMs of high-capacity airflow, easily knocking down these heavy bricks from afar. Just like a car wash blower, the force of Bullseye can dry your car in minutes, so it shines like new. Even blows snow right off your vehicle in no time. Sweeping is hard work, but Bullseye clears out crevices with zero effort. Turbo clean your porch in a flash, or tidy up your dirty garage floor in seconds. Watch this. The sheer force propels this woman across the pool. And check this out. Even use Bullseye to blow up a huge jump house. Now that's a crazy amount of air. A big bulky blower can cost $200, but get the Bullseye Compact Power Blower today for just $99.99. But wait, act now and get a $20 discount. So it's only $79.99. Plus, you'll get the extension tube with flat power nozzle to boost your range even further. Choose the best length for any situation. Yours free. And it all comes with free shipping. Don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-280-2358 or go to bullseyeblower.com. Call 1-800-280-2358. That's 1-800-280-2358 or order online at bullseyeblower.com. Order now.
Guys, if you plan to retire in the next 20 years, or if you've already retired, I have a message for you that you need to hear. Central banks, BRIC nations, and our allies are pumping trillions of dollars back into America, but every dollar they send could make your savings worth less. Hi, I'm Donald Trump Jr., and I just want you to be prepared for the future. So protect your hard-earned savings with gold. A gold IRA from my trusted friends at the Birch Gold Group offers you the safety net of gold with the tax advantage status of a retirement account. To see how it's done, click the link below to get a free info kit on gold IRAs. This kit reveals why gold IRAs are exploding in popularity, so do it now. What do you have to lose? It's free and there's no obligation. Click the link below to get your free info kit from the Birch Gold Group.
As Texas goes, so goes the nation. As the nation goes, so goes the world. Are you prepared to fight for this state? Are you prepared to fight for your country?
Okay, welcome back. War Room, Texas. I want to bring in Gord McGee. So Shannon set up the problem, or at least how we solved the first part. We've had regulatory capture. This is now about Wall Street and the big trucking companies. What is the solution, and how can the War Room Posse have your guys back? We had it the first time. Now we realize we got a deeper problem here. This foreign trucker situation is outrageous. The truckers are the backbone of this country. And to know that we've got these foreign truckers driving wages down, everything also, and putting these family truck companies out of business, and also causing these massive accidents because they don't read English, they don't speak English, they don't really know the rules of the road. How are we going to solve it, Gord?
Well, we solve it by acknowledging all of these problems as you just laid them out, and we look forward. I noticed a lot of the discourse on X this week blaming Biden for his open border policies, and that's all true, but we need to hold the administration's feet to the fire. Secretary Duffy needs to get at dealing with the carriers that hire these drivers, dealing with their customers, dealing with the freight brokers who distribute the loads to these guys. It's not just about the drivers. Many of these companies, this guy that killed those people in Indiana this week, they're based in Kyrgyzstan, and they've got an office in Chicago. Like, we have to go there and deal with these carriers. We have to use the available tools. So within the FMCSA, there's a tool called an imminent hazard order. When it's pointed out that a company has 300 different MC numbers and LLCs, and they bounce their drivers and trucks back and forth between these entities in order to evade accountability, all of those entities need to be shut down. I see that President Trump is pulling back from operations like we saw in Minneapolis. He needs to be sending ICE to the facilities which these subcontractors service. Amazon, FedEx, the United States Postal Service. The United States Postal Service is breaking their own rules by using foreign drivers who are not supposed to be handling the mail. Have ICE set up outside these facilities and check every truck coming and going out of them. Check these guys for their employment authorizations if they have one, if they're illegals. Have the DOT check them to see if their CDLs were issued by a suspicious, dodgy CDL school. Stop giving money to the NGOs and foundations and nonprofits that are helping these guys go to these small, scummy truck driving schools. End the flow of corporate welfare to all CDL mills. We have tons of American drivers who've been laid off. All of this nonsense needs to stop. People need to understand, as Shannon mentioned earlier, we have a problem with this advocacy organization, the American Trucking Associations. They're trying to pivot now because they know that everyone can see through their crap. They have spent 4 decades lying to the public and lying to the government about a shortage of truck drivers. It's never been true. They are using this to get into Congress and demand corporate welfare for CDL schools and to get these visas to bring foreign truck drivers in and displace drivers like me, I have a 28-year career in trucking. I've never been in a collision. I've never hurt anybody. I can't get a job that pays half decent because the market is completely flooded. You're correct. Hundreds and thousands of small family-owned American trucking companies have gone out of business because we are being replaced by in-source labor, and it has to stop.
Okay. Here's the thing and it connects back to Mary's story. The first thing, this invasion of our country and the destruction, not just of the sovereignty of the country, but also the citizens in the country, is highly sophisticated. This is not a bunch of rubes. These are whether it's coming into Kaufman County, Texas, or the town of Kaufman and trying to be a forefront or a beachhead for the Islamic invasion of Texas, or whether it's getting foreign truckers here to break the back. And why they want to break the back of truck drivers in the United States, because they understand that truck drivers are part of the core of the backbone of this nation, and they want to cripple this nation. And one of the ways they want to do it is destroy the working class in this country. It's very obvious.
It's happening in other countries too, Steve. We just had another horrific crash on the Trans-Canada Highway in Northern Ontario. 3 innocent people killed. We just had a crash in Oklahoma, pending investigation to find out who the driver there was that was involved in it. This is happening in Australia. The truck crash rate and the fatality rate in Australia are going through the roof through these very same sophisticated operations where the diaspora communities from certain immigrant groups are just moving into Western countries and taking over their trucking industries. And the trucking associations have assisted in that by constantly lying about a shortage of drivers instead of paying drivers better, instead of improving the material conditions of the job, something our friends on the left have always been advocating for. Where is the left? Where are the left ideologues, the left labor leaders? Coming to assist the American truck driver, the Australian truck driver, the Canadian truck driver under this invasion where we are being displaced and our roads are being turned into a scene from Mad Max.
I love that. Where do people go, Gord, to find out more about this? We're going to get on point like we did in the first part of it. Where they go, Gord, to get all the information about you and find out all the content you're putting up.
Right. So autonomoustruckers.substack.com. I write often there. I host the Voice of Gord podcast on all major platforms. You can find me on Twitter @Gord McGill. And I have a book coming out which outlines the history of how the trucking industry got to where it is today, which is mostly because of a war being waged against its very drivers. It's called End of the Road, Inside the War on Truckers, Creed and Culture books. You can pre-order it at creedandculture.com. It comes out March 24th, and it'll tell you exactly just how we got here.
Perfect, sir. Shannon, Everett, where do people go to get you? Because we're going to have your guys back on this thing as we close this this issue between Wall Street, regulatory capture, the big trucking companies. It's got to stop. American roads for American citizen truckers. Where do we go, Shannon?
Amen. Follow us on X at ATU Truckers. That's the same tag on all the social media websites. And then you can go to our physical website at www.americantruckers.com.
Okay, I'll talk to you guys over the weekend. We're going to get on point on this. Have your guys back. This thing's got to be stopped. This is outrageous. Another outrage. But we'll take care of it. We'll get it done. Thank you, guys. Rosemary Jenks, you've told me from the very first time as a young pup, when you were my mentor, when I first met you years ago, that, hey, the invasion of this country is a highly sophisticated, a big money-making operation. We've had 2 kickoffs here in the second part of the show that show that, doesn't it, ma'am? I mean, that's the reason you went from numbers you're saying counting to actually we need to take action, because if we don't take action now, the country's over. Am I incorrect in that, ma'am?
No, you're absolutely correct. We are at a tipping point. And in some cases, we're over the tipping point. It's time to stop it. I mean, all of these problems that you're talking about, foreign truckers on our roads, the Islamic invasion, all of this is the result of mass immigration over the last 5 decades. We've had 50 years of it, and it is too much. We've got to rein it back. We've got to pause it as far as Immigration Accountability Project is concerned, so we can clean up the mess. I mean, if your basement's flooding, the first thing you do is turn off the water. The next thing you do is clean up the mess, but you got to turn off the water so you can clean up the mess.
Now, talk to me about that, because first I want to go to, because listen, and this is my hey, it's free advice. Everything in the war room is free. All the content's free. So for the administration, midterm elections are about base turnout. Let me be blunt. All these people in the middle, they don't turn out. Okay. You need your base fired up. One way to get them unfired up is to start to bend the knee or start to blink. You're going to see this in the House and Senate next couple of weeks. We're going to cover it wall to wall. Now they're saying, oh, yeah, there's some good things. There's some interesting things we can discuss with Schumer. There's nothing we can discuss with Schumer on what they've come back with. Mary, right now, even the counting, we need the administration to come out. We need to know and get a better count of how many have left. We need to know where we stand in this. And right now, it feels like people in the administration are not telling President Trump the real numbers, and we're certainly not seeing the real numbers. Am I wrong in that assumption, ma'am?
No, I mean, we've had very little transparency in terms of what the actual deportation numbers are. A lot of folks are combining deportations and expulsions or their returns at the border. Those are not deportations. So, we have estimates that actual deportations are around 350,000 for 2025. Obviously, that's not enough. And that is a result of the way that the administration has gone after the worst of the worst and the criminals. And we understand and agree that we need to get those people out of the country. But in order to get to mass deportations, we need to add some additional tactics, and that has to include worksite enforcement. We have to be going after the employers who are hiring the illegal aliens. We have to make sure that illegal aliens cannot work in this country, because if they can work, they will stay here, they won't self-deport, and they will keep coming. I think what happened is the Center for Immigration Studies actually several months ago came out with information that the foreign-born population in the United States had declined by about 2 million. And basically, the Department of Homeland Security kind of took that and ran with it as these are all the deportations. Well, we don't know that that's true. We know they're not formal deportations. We don't actually know how many people have self-deported. We know that not as many as were expected have used the CBP Home app and collected their $1,000 or $2,600 or whatever the price was at that point. So The numbers are very unclear, but the bottom line is we know we need to get the numbers up. And we have been working with several other organizations. We're really excited about a new effort that we're putting together that will help the administration get to the mass deportation numbers. You know, when you look at Eisenhower, he deported 3 million. We need to get to a minimum of 1 million a year.
Hang on for 1 second. We're going to bring you right back. Rosemary Jenks, you heard the trucker say, you have to go to these companies. Allfamilypharmacy.com, promo code Bannon10, 10% off. Break the back of Big Pharma. Break the back of the distribution network of McKesson, these distributors. Allfamilypharmacy.com, promo code Bannon10. Go there today.
Poverty is unimaginable. There are people who are struggling.
This is where she washes the dishes.
If you're ever going to allow your Christian faith to rise and to do something for God's chosen people, now is the time.
This is the home of Galina. She's 96 years old.
This is what she had to eat for today.
She has one pot with water and wheat.
My father was killed by the Nazis, and I was an orphan. I didn't know about God. But now, in the cold, hungry nights, I pray for food to the God I've never known. There are good people that love you.
You see the tears. Scripture says joy can come in the morning, and you can be the reason.
If you will bless these hurting children of Israel, you will receive God's blessing in return. Your urgent gift today of $25 will help Rush, a survival food box filled with life-saving essentials. If you call right now, your gift's impact will be doubled to help save lives. Call, scan, or go online now.
I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, I don't know how much longer she could have waited for us to come.
I can't even grow my food anymore. What will happen to me? I'm doomed to starve.
Tens of thousands of elderly Holocaust survivors in the former Soviet Union are living in extreme poverty, hungry, and forgotten. But through the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, we can bring them hope.
Eggs. It's my favorite food. May you be blessed.
You say to them, we see you and we're here to help.
If you call right now, your gift's impact will be doubled to help save lives.
Freedom to speak your mind. Freedom to protest policies you don't like. Freedom to start a business. Freedom to own property. Freedom to vote. Freedom to flourish. It's easy to take these things for granted, but for many people around the world, freedom is merely a dream, and those who fight for it risk losing everything. Their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/rev today to help freedom become a reality for people fighting back against authoritarianism. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an exclusive Atlas Network hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. Atlas Network was founded to help pro-freedom organizations around the world develop, implement, and defend policies that foster freedom against tyranny. Visit atlasnetwork.org/rev or scan the QR code now to help us make freedom a reality for millions of people around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive hat.
As Texas goes, so goes the nation. As the nation goes, so goes the world. Are you prepared to fight for this state? Are you prepared to fight for your country?
One guy that's proven he's prepared to fight, Ken Paxton, joins us right now. Ken, we had Maddie B, we had Matt Bull on yesterday talking about these polls are coming out showing you leading both Wesley Hunt and John Cornyn. In fact, Cornyn's third in both polls are pretty shocking given all the money he's raised and spent. I just want to put to a lie because the rumor out there, and this is what Cornyn's forces try to do against the grassroots, that he's doing this for the good of the nation to save the Senate, because if you were to beat him in a primary, it's impossible for you to win a general election. What's the reality of that, sir?
It's just a lie. I mean, he knows he can't win this primary, so he's pitching this idea that, well, even though no one wants to vote for me, you have to vote for me. But I've run 3 statewide races. I've spent way less than other people, and I've done very well in these three statewide races, just as well as other statewide officials. So this idea that somehow I can't win a statewide race, well, I've been doing it for the last 12 years, and I've won between primaries, runoffs, generals. I've won 17 elections in a row. So this idea that I can't win is ridiculous, and it's a lie. And this is typical of John Cornyn, running as a fake candidate, lying to the American public, lying to Texans about his record and about me.
What's pretty shocking, this is why I had Matt on yesterday in Worm, Texas to kick off. It's pretty shocking, given because this may go down as one of the most expensive primaries in the history of this country. Yet you're not spending a lot of money, and he's spending it. He's taking it out in the front yard and burning it in a bushel. What is that about?
Well, so I never realized this, but McCain-Feingold created a very difficult situation for challengers. I maxed out at $3,500 for the primary from any donor. So that makes it really difficult to spend a lot of money because you're limited by Feingold and McCain. However, the incumbents are not limited by that. They have all kinds of committees. So he spent, that we can track, about $50 million. He's probably spent double that. How is it possible, if there's a $3,500 limit, that you can spend $50 million to $100 million? But yet that's exactly what's going on. They have ways around these rules that challengers are not allowed. That's what's going on. And but despite the fact that we've spent very little money and he spent millions, maybe up to $100 million, he's still second place, and he might end up third. He's got a chance. He's got a better chance of finishing third than he does first.
What is it can we expect? Because Mitch McConnell in this crowd, the establishment Republican Senate, and we're seeing them in all their glory this week. They're already getting weak-kneed about giving up on ICE enforcement. What can we anticipate? Because Cornyn and these guys are not going to go away easily. What can we anticipate Cornyn's going to pull in the next couple of weeks?
Look, they're going to spend a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars. They're going to be as nasty and mean as they can get. They're going to lie about John, trying to convince us that somehow he's been a Trump guy for all these years, which is completely false. And that he was for building a border, that he wasn't voting for amnesty, completely false. That he wasn't restricting Second Amendment rights, completely false. And then they're going to make up stuff about me because they've got the money to do it. But the problem with John is that he's never accomplished anything in his 40-plus years. And I mean that as a reality. He has accomplished nothing. No one can tell me what he's actually done. He's just gone along with the establishment, and he's never been a Texan. He's never voted for Texans. He's never been for us.
Ken Paxton, Attorney General of the great state of Texas. Where do people go to find out more about your campaign and your social media, sir?
KenPaxton.com is where we need help donating. Anybody can donate that's a citizen. And then second, at Ken Paxton TX is Facebook and Twitter.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. As the audience knows, the very first guest we had on during Biden's illegitimate regime, and they had the illegitimate regime had their illegitimate inauguration. Our first guest was Ken Paxton. He said, hey, where Biden's inside the Constitution, we'll work with them. Where they're outside the Constitution are hurting people's state of Texas, we'll be against them. I think his first lawsuit was the next day or shortly thereafter. Ken Paxton stood in the breach in the darkest days of when they sent President Trump. They stole the election, and President Trump went back to Mar-a-Lago to regroup, to come back for that magnificent victory in 2024. Rosemary Jenks, there's another issue. First off, on 3rd of March, this is the most hotly contested primary, I think, in living memory in the Senate. On 3 March, on the ballot is Proposition 10 to prohibit Sharia law in the state of Texas. We need everybody to turn out for that. There's another issue down here, too. We had, obviously, the issue about the Islamic invasion in Kaufman around the state with Mary Rook, who did such a great job at Daily Caller. We're going to have her back on. I want everybody to read that article today. But there's another article out in the Dallas Observer that talks about Frisco, Texas, and this is something you've been warning us about from day one. Can you walk us through Frisco, Texas in this article, ma'am?
Yeah. So, I mean, we all know that we have been letting in massive numbers of H-1Bs. 70% of them are Indian, and this town has had enough. Americans, immigration is a public policy. So every American has an absolute right to challenge public policy and how it impacts them. So it is no surprise that American citizens are going to council meetings and challenging what they see happening around them. And, we've got all these local officials who keep saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, and kind of pat us on the head and say, everything's fine. You're racist, whatever. No. If we see changes to our neighborhoods that we don't like, we have a right to speak up and challenge this. Now, the problem is that the city council doesn't have a lot of control over immigration, if any at all. The state of Texas has more, and Governor Abbott has finally agreed to investigate some H-1B abuses and stop universities, publicly funded universities, from hiring H-1Bs, as Florida did several months ago. And every state should be doing. But the problem is Congress. Congress sets these laws. Congress has to change this. Most Americans don't know that an employer doesn't have to try to find an American to hire before they bring in an H-1B. H-1Bs are designed as cheap labor to replace American workers. That's it. It's in the law. And, the other problem that we have, supposedly there's this cap of 85,000 on H-1B visas every year. But the problem there is that universities, government agencies, and nonprofit research institutions are completely exempt from that cap. So they can bring in as many H-1Bs as they want and replace Americans in these jobs that Americans need. And guess what? The H-1Bs live in neighborhoods. They buy houses, even though they're here on temporary visas, because they expect to be able to stay here for the rest of their lives. All of that has to change now.
Rosemary, where do people go to your new organization? How can they support you? Because you're the tip of the spear of this fight. I know it seems like it's a little grim, but we are winning. And one of the reasons we're winning, people are now outraged enough, and the Great Awakening has happened. And we're going to take down H-1B visas. We're going to put a moratorium on all immigration, and we're going to get out of this country every illegal alien that came in on Biden's watch. Where do they go, ma'am?
IAPaction.com is our website where you can find our congressional ranking system. That's IAPaction.com. We rank every single member of Congress based exclusively on what they have done on immigration, whether it's votes or sponsoring bills or co-sponsoring bills. We are also on X at IA Project. And please, we need the help of the War Room Posse. Y'all have been great. We are so happy to be talking to you all, and we need your support.
You're great. And Dave Bradshaw, chairman, makes it even greater. Right. Thank you. Thank you for taking time on a Saturday. Walk us through this.
Thank you.
Now, that pressure leads to action. Clete is going to join us. You're going to see some action of what Clete is talking about, because we're going to have this big fight about government shutdown, everything. This is brought to us by Cleta Mitchell. But first, I got to play the opening minute of her hit with us last week. It's made the left's heads, they're in meltdown about this because it's so magnificent. Let's go and play it.
I want people to picture in your mind November 4th, the morning of November 4th, the day after the election, the national presidential election. Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger from Georgia went on the Today Show, and he said the following, that a record 4.7 million ballots had been cast in Georgia. This is the morning of November 4th. President Trump was in the lead by 103,000 votes, and there were only 94,000 ballots left to count. Now, remember, the deadline for receipt of absentee ballots in Georgia in 2020 was when the polls closed 7 p.m. on November the 3rd. So that's a known number the next day, right? Except that when they finished counting the ballots 4 days later, suddenly there were 300,000 more ballots than there were when the polls closed on Election Day. Absentee ballots that came in, and half of those, 148,000 of those, were from Fulton County. Now, let me tell you some things about Fulton County. And all of this is from a 263-page intense report with every document, visual images. You cannot believe the things that are in this report. And I'll tell you where to find the full report. But I wanted to go through those 260 some odd pages and pull out the bullet point.
I want everybody to do this weekend. So, Cleta, they say, well, there was a review and there was only 3 people. It's a bald-faced lie. We've got them, and now we've got the ballots, ma'am. What are we going to do about this? The SAVE Act, everything to do from it. We've had FBI seize the ballots. Tulsi's looking at the total election. You guys are still fighting. But what in the hell is happening on Capitol Hill, ma'am?
Well, next week, the House of Representatives is going to hopefully have on the floor for the 3rd time the SAVE Act plus voter ID. So they're calling it the Save America Act. It's going to have, as I said, the SAVE Act requiring documentary proof of citizenship in order to register to vote, and then a voter ID requirement in order to vote. And that will apply to both in-person voting and voting by mail. And it will also require every state to submit its voter rolls to DHS to run against the SAVE system at USCIS in order to identify any non-citizens who are on the voter rolls. Now, let me tell you why this is important. The House is going to attach that to a Senate bill and send it back to the Senate as a message. And then, believe me, I don't pretend to know all these arcane Senate rules, but I'm trying to learn enough to be conversant. And what we have to do, what all of us have to do, is that bill can then go straight to the Senate floor. And then we need to make John Thune, make the Democrats come to the floor, not just assume a filibuster, but to have the talking filibuster. Make them come, make them work, make them speak. Every senator who opposes the bill, every Democrat who opposes this bill, the Save America Act, should be forced to come to the floor and talk as to why they oppose voter ID, why they oppose documentary proof of citizenship. Those are both 90% issues. And when that time expires, if they will make them go through the talking filibuster, when that time expires, it can be passed on a simple majority. And we already have 51 Republican senators pledged to support the SAVE Act. So this is our chance if we make John Thune make the Democrats talk.
Okay, hang on one second.
That's the issue.
Hang on. I'm going to hold you through the break. The great Cleta Mitchell is with us as the showdown happens on Capitol Hill.
Hello, welcome to T-Town. Like men over 40 everywhere. These guys experience a drop in testosterone. Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Some guys took my advice about how to boost their testosterone, and some didn't. This guy got the message loud and clear.
That's right, Nugenix Total T2.
From the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC comes Nugenix Total T2, a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle by texting SURGE to 321-321.
Thanks. It'll make you feel like a new man. And by the way, she'll like it too.
New T2 is not available in stores or on Amazon. Get your complimentary bottle now. Text SURGE to 321-321. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X absolutely free.
Hey folks, it's your friend John Rich. I co-founded Old Glory Bank because we heard too many stories about people getting canceled by their bank because they didn't agree with their politics. The government wanted to know where you shop. If you bought a Bible or you shopped at a sporting goods store, you're probably on a list. We created Old Glory Bank because America needed a bank that would protect their privacy and security. Exercising your constitutional rights is not a criminal activity, and neither is loving your country. At Old Glory Bank, we stand with you.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
I'm a J6er, and I spent 3 months in jail and about a year in prison.
I spent 4 years out of an 18-year sentence
in prison.
J6ers have been smeared and defamed by the media, persecuted by the government, and treated like terrorists.
In reality, J6ers are patriotic men and women, mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers from all walks of life.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
And we need your help.
For just $10 or more, you're helping these patriots get mental, physical, and spiritual help.
Please scan the QR code or go to j6support.com to donate $10 or more to support these American patriots.
Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
I'm a J6er. I spent 1,143 days in prison.
About a year in prison.
We were prosecuted, persecuted.
J6ers have been treated like terrorists.
And we need your help.
Stand in the Gap was founded to stand in the gap for J6ers working to rebuild their lives after being incarcerated.
For just $10 or more, you can help these patriots get back on their feet again. Go now to j6support.com and donate today.
As Texas goes, so goes the nation. As the nation goes, so goes the world. Are you prepared to fight for this state? Are you prepared to fight for your country?
Okay, Clete, I know you got to bounce real quickly. Just give, okay, the House is going to take a combination of these different bills to make sure we have voter ID and the cleaning of the rolls. That's going to pass in the House on a straight party line vote, correct? Then talk to me about the Senate, because I don't need people to go to Bill Blaster this weekend. We're going to start it on Monday with Grace and all of us. What does Thune then have to do? He's going to sit there and go, well, the filibuster 60 votes. We can't get 60 votes. We just can't take it up. What happens then?
If Senator Thune will make the Democrats actually have a talking filibuster, the kind that we saw with Jimmy Stewart and all talking through the night, there's a two-speech rule. And make those Democrats have to come to the floor and tell the American people why they're opposed to voter ID, why they're opposed to only citizens being able to register to vote, why they're opposed to checking the voter rolls to make sure that non-citizens get identified and removed. If they do that, if they make them go through the two-speech rule and go through all of that, at the end of that time, at that talking filibuster, the bill can pass and go straight to the president to be signed. So that's what we need. We need the Senate to work, to have to show up and have to talk. The great Chip Roy is leading the charge in the House. It's his bill. He's been working very closely with me, with the senators and all to try to get this bill passed. We have a chance, ladies and gentlemen, with enough pressure on the Senate, we have the chance for the SAVE Act and voter ID and cleaning the voter rolls to come to pass and become the law of this land.
And
if we can get Senator Thune to make them vote.
And we'll get Bill Bless will do all that next week. I'm going to have you back to talk about Georgia next week, what's going on. But I want to repeat to people, this also exposes the Democrats. This is an 85% American people. This exposes the Democrats that have no interest in having free and fair elections and only American citizens vote. They're total liars on this. Cleta, where do people go on your social media to keep up with everything you're doing on this? Because this week is the fight.
At Cleta Mitchell is on X, and at Cleta Mitchell is on Truth Social. And I put everything, I mostly put things on X, put all the facts about what's going on in Georgia, and I'll keep putting all that information up at Cleta Mitchell on X. And then come to our website, www.electionintegritynetwork.org. That's the home, America's home for election integrity. We put a lot of things up there too.
Ma'am, it's fantastic. Thank you for the fight. Cleta Mitchell.
Thank you.
Leading the charge down in Georgia. Thank you, ma'am. This week's a big week. You got to force the Senate. They got to do these standing or talking filibusters, just like you see in the movies. That's what they got to do. Not this pretend 60 vote. You got to force their hand. And Thune doesn't want to do it. Trust me, he does not want to do it. He's always making a million excuses to the president. Got so much to do. You got nothing more important to do than get this mess sorted, brother. Tage Gill, Super Bowl weekend. I need a big ass pot of Warpath coffee right now. Where do I go get it?
You got to see, you go to warpath.coffee and of course use promo code WARROOM right now. It's 15% off. We just roasted 6,000 bags of the 2-pound Mariners and breakfast blend ground. We've got We got the hot chocolate up on the site now. It's the Heavenly Hot Chocolate. It's German strudel. It's got real chocolate in it. It's amazing stuff. But just go on the site and read the reviews. We have 17,000 5-star reviews. People love this coffee. You drink it straight black. You don't need milk. You don't need sugar because we don't burn it when we roast it. We use fresh premium beans. We don't use cheap beans. We don't use stale beans. We only use the best beans. It's actually gourmet coffee. It's gourmet hot chocolate. We've got it all. We've got mugs. We've got tumblers. We've got K-cups. We recently dropped decaf K-cups, and they're just flying off the shelf. So is the hot chocolate. People are buying the hot chocolate up like crazy.
I want to say, I want to be blunt. Normally we have a committee. We worked on the dark roast for a year and a half to get to my exact taste, and Tej and his team did it magnificently. The hot chocolate, give me 30. We had a little different selection committee on the hot chocolate, did we not?
Yep. The hot chocolate committee, it was made up of 3 kids, my kids. So we actually bought every hot chocolate on Amazon, and we experimented with a couple of different recipes of hot chocolate, and this is what we came up with. It's amazing. Hot chocolate is the best hot chocolate out there. You got to try the hot chocolate. Hot chocolate is, we hit a home run with it.
Home run. One more time, Where do people go?
You go to warpath.coffee and then use promo code War Room. And that's the promo code War Room runs year round for the War Room posse. It fluctuates. It's at 15% right now, but warpath.coffee, promo code War Room, and try it. If you haven't tried it, try it. It is the best coffee out there.
Thank the kids for the hot chocolate. It's going to be a huge seller. It's going to be one of our best, and we owe it all to them. Thank you, sir. Tej Gill. Need a big old pot of coffee this morning. My Patriot Supply, go to, they've got a special just for the War Room Posse. Prepare with Bannon. That's all one word. Preparewithbannon.com. You get $100 off the 3-month emergency food supply kit today. That's only for the War Room Posse. Preparewithbannon.com. Get $100 off the 3-month emergency food supply. A lot of you wish you had it in that ice storm that happened last week. Trevor Comstock, let's finish upbeat. My Sacred Human Health. Brother, you come up with the best products. People come to me all the time, say, this company's amazing. What do you got for us today to end Saturday's show?
Yeah, great to see you, Steve. So before I forget, I wanted to mention that we are currently running our Valentine's Day sale. So you can use code LOVE at checkout for 20% off any one-time order. Trying to spread the love here. But also, I wanted to say that, especially during the winter months, the tallow moisturizer has been extremely popular. And for anyone that doesn't know, it's made with the 100% American grass-fed and finished beef tallow, and then also the raw Manuka honey from New Zealand. That's it. We don't include any, artificial additives or anything like that. And the tallow moisturizer is pretty remarkable just because it's loaded with vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, as well as K, which your skin essentially needs to stay healthy and radiant. And the product is intended for both men and women. I use it every day, and it works great for things like dry skin, if you have wrinkles, or eczema, or any skin irritation. It helps bring that down quite a bit. And you can use it pretty much anywhere on your body. I use it on my face, but a lot of people put it on their neck, their hands, elbows, anywhere that you really need it. And then, as I had mentioned, we just pair it with the raw Manuka honey, which is amazing for its anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. So if you do have any redness or like seborrhea or anything like that, it helps bring it down quite a bit.
By the way, don't take it from Trevor and Steve. Go read the reviews one more time. Where do they go? I want them to get into the details, into the receipts, and then talk to you. Where do they go, sir?
Yeah, 100%. So you can go to sacredhumanhealth.com and then use code LOVE at checkout for 20% off. We got you covered there.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Real America's Voice special, and then it's going to be the Charlie Kirk halftime alternative show. See you back here then. Have a great weekend from the world.
There are a few things more aggravating than seeing your tax dollars wasted by the government. All too often, when big government tries to save the day, the funds sent around the world to help people in need are diverted by corrupt leaders to line their own pockets, enrich their cronies, or further an agenda that has nothing to do with helping their countrymen. You can do a better job at promoting freedom than any government can. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV today to join the worldwide freedom movement. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an Atlas Network exclusive hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine